Y'all ready to talk some football? Let's get it cracking. Yo, 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 no maniacs, super no maniacs, and all in between. Welcome to another edition of some extra sauce. And today is a very special occasion for us because my brother is down there at the bottom. Been looking for him for a while, man. I'm so glad to see that guy sitting in that seat there, man. It feels so good to see my guy, our guy, Samo, sitting there, man. And just want to say welcome back, man. Welcome back. Number one, I don't want to get too emotional, man, because I'm soft like that, man. I don't want to do that in front of the people. And so I'm just gonna hold it back for a minute. I'm gonna hold it back for a minute, Samo, and just say, hey, thank you for being here. Our newest member of the team, Ethereal, is down there. He's gonna be bringing some hella production to the team. He's in here to get some training to learn how the functionality works behind the scenes of the Nomad Network, and we are so glad to have that brother here. I know kids is just like, yes, help. He's got to be like that. He's got to be feeling that right now, deep down inside. He's just like, thank God. But you know, we got to come here, and we got a special guest outside of everything you see on the screen. We do have a special guest called Coach Gene Clemens. He's a writer, he's an author, man. He's damn near Jamaican. All the titles that he has, man. He's an author, he's a journalist, and he's a contributor to SI.com/New York Giants. So he writes for the New York Giants, and he's got a whole thing going on with Shedeur Sanders, and you know, will they pick that guy at 3 or not? That whole thing, I'm sure when he gets here in a few minutes, we're gonna talk about that. Plus, he had some HBCU guys that he wanted to talk about that we didn't spend enough time over here at the Nomad Network talking about. Some real serious ballers down there, man, in those HBCUs. And I just burnt out, and I just didn't have the energy to go where I want to go with those guys. So I'm glad to have him here, and I'm thankful to have him here on the show tonight, man. We're gonna get to that in a minute, but here's the bad news, man. We got here on a somber note tonight because I don't know how many of you guys heard, but Mongo is no longer with us, man. Mongo, hold on, let me fix that. Hold on. If this is fine, man, unless you want to reshuffle it and put me over there, kids, if you can. So Samo is over here. But Mongo is no longer with us. You know what's funny about this, you guys? It's not funny, but I was just probably about an hour before I heard the news that he passed away. I just saw that he was going into hospice. I don't know if you guys got to see that news. Kids, you muted, bro.
Damn it. Yeah, I got the exact same information. I had a crazy day today. I was telling these guys in the back. So you know the story about my homeboy who got beat up by the little person that I've been told on the show at least once during a super funny episode of our show. My friend passed away, and as I'm learning about him passing away, I hear at the same time I had another message saying Mongo is in hospice. So I'm going back and forth with people left, right, and center talking about my homeboy. Now I'm hungry. After kind of tripping out about this situation, I jump up, I go out and get myself some chicken wings to try and stay true to the diet. You know what I mean? So go out the street, get these chicken wings, come back into the car. And as I get into the car, Mongo's passed away. Just a wild and crazy hour and a half in my life today that I'll never get back. And I want to say right off the top, rest in peace to probably the single best representation of the Chicago Bears legacy of all time. And like there's so many historical players and personalities, but this guy did it on a bit of a different level, y'all. Right? He represented when the Bears were after 85 and after Neil Anderson. And when things were kind of on a low, this man took it on put it on his shoulders, and he was rocking that Bears bomber body slamming motherfuckers all day long. Like that's who this guy is to me. He's Chicago Bears representation in a whole other school of pain, and that's the wrestling world, man. I love this guy. for what he did on the field, and again for what he did in the ring. He's got my respect from front to back. Love this homeboy right here, man. Rest in peace, Mongo. Rest in peace, dog.
Yeah, Mongo was that dude. He wait, what's the batting order? I'm all confused now. My bad.
You go, bro.
It's on you, baby.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, but shout out to Mongo, and it was I made a comment earlier that I really live by and hope to, not die by, but if necessary. But just are you alive or are you living in the capacity that he has been, the state that this disease has ravaged his body for these past few years, where he's just laying there, depending on the care of others, for everything. And so, sure, he's alive, but he sure the fuck ain't living. And, you got to give a shout out to all those caretakers around him, the missus and, the sister and everybody who loved him and looked out for him and, sacrificed of their own life, to take care of him, mentally, physically, the caretakers, the toll that, watching somebody deteriorate and wither to nothing after seeing how large of a life that Mongo was, that he led, that center of attention, that motherfucker that's got the wild hair on his Harley and ready to fuck some shit up. Literally. That was Mongo. That was that dude. This is not even on the football field. I'm talking off the football field, not even those accomplishments.
Every day.
And so to have him just wither in there like a little old leaf in goddamn autumn, and it's like, all right, cool. He got to see himself get into the Hall of Fame. All right, please, Lord, sweet mercy of death, come visit him. But finally the time is here, and I'm more thankful for the time that he had where he was him, as opposed to just having someone hang on and suffering just to appease our emotions. Let that man go on into the great beyond, wherever he's gonna live forever, in the NFL Hall of Fame. He's gonna live forever in every Chicago Bears fan's heart. And so, life well spent. Rest well. And with that, I'm not gonna pour none out because I ain't dumb like that, but I'm gonna sip a little brown liquor in honor.
Cheers, Mongo.
You got any thoughts, E?
So not too long ago, I went and I buried my aunt in Atlanta. And I got a call maybe like 2 days after she passed. My cousin wanted me to do the eulogy. And, I struggle just in general with like, not the Bible, but just like having thoughts for people when they pass away. My grandmother died a year ago and I did the eulogy for her funeral. So when people saw that, they were like, oh, this, brother can speak. So they saw that and felt because I knew her, I'd be a good person to speak on it. And so when I get asked to do something like that, I go into like deep study and I'm trying to figure out what's the best way that I can deliver a word about someone that makes people think about, their place in existence. And I remember I got into this specific chapter, and one of the things that came up is just like most of the stuff that we do on earth, 10 years after we pass, 20, 30, 100 years after we pass, no one's going to know who we are. But there are some of us who in our life, get in tune with what our purpose is, and we excel within that. And so when I think about the legacy that Mongo has left, not just for us as Bears fans, for his kids, for his family, like he lived life to the fullest. And that's just an example. honestly, that we all could try to live up to. When you think of Walter Payton, when he passed, I mean, that's a big deal. Some people just have personalities and they live in their purpose. And when we can attach on to that and take it as inspiration for ourselves, then we're starting to do something. So hearts go out to his family. I'm just thankful that we had an opportunity to be impacted by his story. At the very least, while we're here, and I'm sure there'll be more to come in his passing for people, stuff that we'll learn about, some private stuff that he had going on that was also, I'm sure, extremely impactful to other people.
Straight up. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well said. Man, you just took the words out of my mouth, man. This man's legacy is going to live on forever. I think he lived life to the fullest. Rest in peace to him, and my thoughts and condolences to his family and friends who went through that journey with him, man. Like Triple R said, man, that couldn't be easy for his wife and his family and friends to just, sit there and watch him wither away, man. And in a sense, the healing starts for them right now as well, because, you watch a person in pain and suffering for so long, man, it has to take a toll on you. So I'm glad that, the healing will start for them as well. We can celebrate his life and his legacy. Like I said, he was the epitome of what it is to be a Chicago Bear. Not only that, we got people who know him outside of being a Chicago Bear just because of the big personality that he was. Like Ked said, in the wrestling world, like some people don't even know him for football as we do. But, for them, it was wrestling. For them, it was the commercials that he was in and just hearing him speak on radio shows and things like that. So, man, if you did something like him, like this man, then you will live on forever. Like your legacy lives on forever. And just rest in peace to him. My condolences to his family.
Let me ask Sam, he is a member of the Super Bowl team, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Integral member. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm not, these guys already said enough. I'm not going, I don't
Before
want
before we jump off this, I just want to let's just give him a 4. You know what I mean? Let's give him a 4 for 4 horsemen.
For 4 horsemen.
I'm doing it.
Can't keep taking you back to the wrestling rappers.
Give him a 4, man. That's
You know what, man? Samo is right. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to remember him because of that.
Yeah.
He was probably more popular in that than he ever, like in Chicago, he's going to be a giant forever. But I wonder, do people outside of this area, this region, see Mongo in that light the same that we do?
Bro, yes. And this is what I'm trying to say. Yes, man.
Yes.
He's a freaking 4 horsemen, man. Like that's serious business in the wrestling world. You do not become a 4 horseman by luck, man. And most of the iterations of the 4 horsemen incorporated Steve Mongo McMichael. Like there's a bunch of different configurations, and Steve was a mainstay in that little faction. And they were dominant, man. We're talking Rick effing Flair, bro. You know what I mean? Like this is he's a serious personality when it comes to wrestling and representing the Bears every day. Like Ric Flair's his own thing. Mongo McMichael, you know what I mean? Mongo McMichael is a Chicago Bear regardless, wherever he goes. So again, in the grave, he's a Chicago Bear, and in that respect, man, I had to give him a little bit of extra love, man.
Hey kids, I bet you, man, and when he was still up and able and can move around, I bet you that man didn't pay for a steak again for the rest of his life. I bet he did.
He shouldn't.
Not a steak, not a drink,
Nothing.
nothing.
I mean, I will say this just real quick, and just to and peace and love to the people that really cared about him and was intimately involved with him in his life. I'm just going to keep it real football because that's the best thing I can do, because that's the way I see Mongo McMichael, man. So when you hear us around here, and that means every last one of us have said this at a time. I'm just giving another I'm putting another angle on it. When we start talking about, even right now as we getting ready, we on the eve of this draft, I'm starting to think about, are we gonna bring? I want some nasty. You know what I'm saying? I want some nasty. I don't care. You get you the players that you want, get the pretty, sexy picks that you want, but make sure you layer this roster with some nasty. And when I think about that kind of legacy and what Chicago is known for, that defense and that nastiness that defense always brought, he's like almost the epitome of it to me. Like Mongo McMichael is the epitome of what our personality is around the world. Chicago's personality for football around the world, Mongo plays a large role in that. And so we definitely lost the Giants. So to keep it 100% football, that part right here has got the hair standing up on the back of my neck, because that man lived for that gridiron and what that gridiron can give him. And he took that to the farthest extreme that he can take it. He took the game as far as he could take it. And then when he got done playing it, he went and found something else that he can bring that temperament and personality to, and brought it to the WCW. And so, man, just peace, love, rest in power, Mongo, for living a giant-ass life and bringing and helping create a legacy for the city of Chicago. That is going to stick with me throughout the remainder of my time, and I know everybody here probably feels the same way, but that's what, when I think about Mongo, I think about the grit, the toughness, and what he brought to the team. And like, nobody wanted nothing to do with those. We need like 53 of those guys right now. We need 53 of them. And so thank you to Mongo personally for just being the person that he was and what he brought to the city of Chicago. I can never be more grateful than what I am right now, man. Rest in power, Mongo, man. Let's go. Hey, let me get out of here before I do get emotional, because that dude right there, he's a beast, man. He's a real beast.
Sure.
All right. I don't know. I probably need to check my Twitter account and see what's going on with Emory. Let me check and see. But in the meantime, man, Sam, dog, it is so good to see your ass on the screen. This feels good, man. And I did y'all's your big board. That's gonna be fun to talk about, man, because just because when you were in the chat talking to us while we was doing shows, I'm like, yeah, his ass been studying. He's been studying. I can just tell by his comments. I was like, he's knee deep into this shit. And I think that's part of the reason why people come to the Nomad Network, is because they know it's people over here that's gonna actually do that work. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't gonna talk about that, bucket full of 15, 20 players. It's them whittled down to like 10, 12 players now. That's all people want to do podcasts on. And so like the draft is so vast and there's so many different people to talk about. Like, to me, my intention was to make sure that everybody got an eye on some of this other talent that's out there, because it's going to be more people that's going to get picked after 10 and 39. You know what I mean? It's going to be a whole bunch more guys get picked. So UDFA is going to have an impact on this team. So appreciate you for doing that work. I could tell you did it, Samo. So shout out to you for that, man.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the invite back, man. Good to see you, good brothers, doing y'all thing still over here on the Nomad Network. Yeah, man, you know how we do it, man, how we did it. Like, we always dive deep, man, into these players. I think this is the closest thing to playing for me. It's like, this is the closest thing to getting back into it, into that groove, man, is to dig into some of these players. And once you look at one, you fall down a rabbit hole, and next thing you know, you up all night looking at tape of different guys and stuff like that. So, like, dang, who is this dude? Who is this dude?
Wow,
you have your favorites, and and it just keeps going on and on and on and on, especially after a long Bears disappointing football season and a promising off season. I'll say that. Like, man, this off season has been surprisingly very, very well done by Ryan Post. And if anybody follows me on X, they know that I was giving him hella shit early on, immediately after the season. After the season. So he has some redemption with me right now. He has to close the deal right now with the draft, man. And this is a lot of people say this isn't a good draft, man. I would argue with people about that, man. No, it's not. There aren't a lot of blue chip players in this draft, but there are a lot of good players that are going to be impact players in the league for many years to come, and that are going to be good starters and some guys who could probably develop into some star players in this league. So, man, depending on where they land and the systems that they land into. So, man, I'm telling you, like this is a lot to be excited about, having, you know, four top 72 picks. Man, what more could we ask for?
Hey, Samo, before anybody else goes, don't you ever say thank you for being here, man. This is home. This is where you damn belong, dog. This is home base for everybody, man. This is always going to be home. Dog, ain't none of that, man. We ain't having that, man. This is your home, man. This is all of our shit, man. We all did this shit. And so, man, look, I'm communicating with Coach right now to see if he probably needs to check his junk mail, man, because for whatever reason, when I send the links out, Samuel just got through dealing with
spam. Tell him spam, not junk. Tell him it's in spam.
Okay.
Mine was in the spam folder.
Y'all chit chat for a second. Let me talk to him.
Yep, yeah, a lot of deep diving, man. A lot of deep diving this offseason. I was giving polls all kinds of grief, but they retained him, and so far his ledger looks squeaky clean. I mean, it looks beautiful right now. I just hope, you know, like I said last week, I just hope there's no punter pick in this, you know what I mean, in the next couple of days. As long as there's no punter, I'm a happy guy, man. I don't think he can possibly screw this up.
He could. Oh, he could. I'm not gonna say that.
He even screwed up now. Man, fuck it up.
Yeah, we can fuck it up.
What position could they fail to address that would be a disappointment?
Look,
we know who the players are, but we also know the Bears have needs. So if they don't take care of a need, which one is going to make you most upset?
I don't think he can like I'm saying, this should be cookie cutter easy at this point, because he's kind of solidified everything. It would be slightly disappointing if he didn't get edge, but if the edge is sacrificed because he got Kenneth Grant, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, so he has the ability to be dynamic here. Like, basically, just don't pick a punter. Like, that's basically what it boils down to. Just don't pick a punter. You can get a safety. You can get a linebacker if you really want to. I won't be mad at either one. Get a running back. Please, God, get a running back. You know, something on the line and something on the other line. Like, that's kind of how this has to shake out. And I assume those first 3 picks is going to be wow pick, trenches on the defense, trenches on the offense. And then you just get funky with it after that. Like, this is hard to mess up. This is hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right about that.
Like, it's not just him though. And I'll back up and say this, right? Like, there's 31 other teams out there vying for other shit too. You know what I mean? Like, there's 31 other teams out there. They might make it so that things are a little bit less cookie cutter easy, like I'm making it sound. But he's positioned himself in a really nice manner where, like I say, he can be dynamic. He can, you know, choose to, let me get a tight end. Okay. All right. That works. It works. There's moves he can make here and really upgrade this squad.
Well, let me ask y'all this. As those who have been procrastinating and studying these prospects from the angle of, if at number 10, Ryan Poles is on the clock, I've seen some feedback that is like, well, if Jeanty's there, cool. If Banks is there, cool. If Graham is there, if Campbell is there, you know, all these list of names. What is the one name that at 10 that if Ryan Poles chose, you would shit your britches, and not a happy way either?
Oh man,
quarterback.
So who is your draft bust that people are projecting up at 10 that you don't like, that is saying that they could go, you know, that high, that you would be like, if Ryan Poles took that
Okay.
dude, I just don't know.
I got one, man, and you guys probably not going to agree with me on this one either, man. For me, it's Michael Williams, man.
Okay, all right.
And not that I don't see the potential there. I think he has a lot of potential, a lot of upside. I think he's stout against the run. You know, he has all the measurables. He could turn out to be a really good player. But at this point in time, I think having a Michael Williams, a Odangbo, and a Sweat is like having a starting pitcher, a relief pitcher, and a closing pitcher that all throw the same pitch at the same speed. You know, where's the changeup? You know, at that point in time, it was like, where's the changeup? I think we need somebody that can bend, somebody with some speed off of the edge to, you know, kind of mix it up a little bit, man. We don't want to be facing the Packers and they have their backup left tackle in the game who struggles against speed, and we don't have a speed rusher. It's like we need to have some diversity, I think, on our defensive line, especially at the edge position, because I think that's the position right now that I think we really need to address a little bit.
What do you think, kids?
My take is a little bit sideways here, and it's if for some reason he looks at cornerback as well, because there's some really nice pieces by way of corner in the first 15 picks. I have to admit, if that catch, you know, tickles his fancy, I'm like, bro, the cupboard's already full of cornerbacks. You don't need any cornerbacks, and that would again put him behind the 8 ball with respect to filling out the remainder of this team. But again, like there's 4 or 5 really nice corners in the early part of this draft. Leave them alone, Ryan. Just leave them alone, bro.
Leave them alone.
Kids sent me I sent out to both of y'all, man, just to see who y'all thought. I basically tried to create y'all's big board of who y'all think are the highest talents in this draft class and who you would like to see come to Chicago. Y'all can explain that whenever we put it up. But Samuel, Kez was surprised that you didn't have linebackers on that list. And I had to double check. I was like, no, ain't no linebackers on his list. I mean, but at the same time, I got a strong indicator, man, to me, just based off the 30 visits and the local visits and what I've seen in that area. It's a good chance it could be a linebacker on this. I say anywhere between the 5th round and beyond. It could be a linebacker.
Yeah, that's exactly what the guys they brought in. They're later round picks, and I'm with it. You know what I mean? You go get yourself a linebacker if you feel the need a little bit later on, but don't let that interfere with what you're doing from pick 10 to pick 148. Like that's in my opinion, there should be no talk of linebackers in and around there, except for like I'll give the slight like Carson Schwarzenegger. If everybody else is gone, if like all your targets are gone, all right, like he's an impact linebacker. If you know what I mean, if you got to do it, I won't be mad at you. But damn,
I just didn't put one on there just because when are they gonna play, man? You know that I know the Bears, they're gonna play Edwards now because they just pay him more money. They're gonna play Edmonds because they're paying him a lot of money, so they got to figure out if they're gonna keep him after this season. So that third linebacker isn't going to get much playing time. So I do think we're going to draft one probably in the 7th round, maybe, or if we end up trading down and picking up a 6th round or extra 5th round pick or something, or if somebody lands to us in the 5th round, that's worthy. But I'm also looking at Noah Sewell, man, as a guy who could flourish in this Dennis Allen defense just because of his ability to play downhill, his ability to blitz. We saw that at Oregon. So I'm expecting big things from him.
Well, we're going to need Mr. Noah to stay on the field, baby boy.
Yes.
True. That's a fact. That's a fact.
You talking to a raucous crowd, man. You and me, the only people in the room that think that he can bring something to the table. Just trust me.
Y'all living off
I don't question whether he has the talent to bring something to the table. Again, he's hurt quite a bit. And then he gets on for like a game or two, and then he's hurt up. I think there are two things have been going around the last 48 hours. The first thing is people talk about possibly trading up to get Jeanty. trading up to get Jeanty, I think would, depend upon how much we give up, because this isn't the draft it was last year, would kind of make me sick to my stomach. Using the 10th draft pick to draft a running back that is not Jeanty would also give me a little quiver in my stomach. Ryan Post did speak very briefly about the potential of Darnell Wright going over to left tackle, and that would open the door.
You know what, E? I got to stop you right there because I was going to bring that up.
All right.
You know, I got hacked. I got hacked the hell the fuck up on this show. Every time I bring it up, Samuel, it's been like since you was here. I might have mentioned. I know I mentioned that a couple times when you was over here. Man, dude, every time I say that, man, people just destroy me in the chat. And you know what? We were talking about Noah Sewell. We'll get to that in a minute. Thank you, Ethereum, for throwing that bomb, because we definitely going there. We going.
The point is, you can now say, "I told you so," because it came from the man's mouth.
Exactly. I ain't that type. I ain't gonna say I told you so.
Yes, you are.
What?
Shit, I was about to say shit. Since when?
Yes, you are. What's like? I'm about to put it on blast because today he put it on Twitter. So let me just give me a second here with this. Bear with me.
You gonna put it out there to the
I'll
ether?
put it on there for sure. This has to be done. So this is my man here. Every time I mention this as an option on a show, people in the chat hack me up. Laugh out loud. I've said too many times to count. Darnell can switch seamlessly to left tackle. Saw it in 2021 at yours truly. So here comes me. My thoughts on the matter? Just stay where you are, bro. Just stay where you're at. So that's that's my take on the situation.
I mean, dude, like, come on, Samuel. You a trench guy. You saw it in 2021. The guy, he stoned the shit out of Alabama at his highest competition level. He whooped their ass. And you know, I think what I think it is, fellas. I think people are still got a little bit of that. It's a little leftover bruises and cuts and scars from all the line juggling and how badly that's backfired in our faces in the last few years with this regime. I think that's what it is.
Well, you don't have to think that's what it's exactly what the hell it is, because we've seen teams around the league like the Eagles with good offensive lines, where guys can plug and play up and down the line and fill in and switch and seamlessly, no drop off. Whereas we are just happy to have an offensive lineman who's like, hey, that kid's pretty fucking good. And we don't want to mess it up by saying, all right, he's good at right tackle, so that does not automatically mean he's going to be good at left tackle. But that doesn't mean he won't be or he can't be. But we don't want to mess up the right tackle position and move him over and then have him struggle at left tackle. And so now left tackle is an issue, and now right tackle is an issue because we moved the goddamn right tackle who was good from there. So if he's good there, let him play there. But I understand the logic. Maybe he's that versatile guy who can play with his left hand in the dirt now and change up his stance. And now, because the draft prospects and the top tackles are all pretty much right guys. Not Darnell Wright. Excuse me. Right tackle guys. So I get it where it's like, well, we may not be able to draft a left tackle that we like, but we do like Darnell Wright, move him to the left side and draft a right tackle. I get the logic, but just leery because we haven't seen it work around here. So it's like we're messing up something that we know is good for the unknowns. The unknowns could be better. We just don't know, but we know that this good is good.
Well, I think Trips, I know you're not a draft guy, so I think in the draft, it's a lot of people out here that do a lot of evaluations. I'm different than, I'm pretty sure Samuel got some different thoughts on this after looking at it all. Some people might say it's a right tackle leaning heavy draft.
Okay.
I don't feel like that, man. I think it's a pretty good balance of left tackles and right tackles. But there's there's several right tackles that really stand out now. I will say that. And that the idea of moving Darnell Wright to the left side terrifies people because just everything Tripp just said. But that could be why, you heard him say, he's like, that's a conversation. I think that was the key word to be said after Ryan Poles spoke to that question. That's a conversation. And so typically when I hear him say those words, last time I heard that being uttered, Kyler Gordon got his contract after he said that's a conversation. And so we've said it for a couple of years, man. It would not be a bad thing. It would not be a bad thing. We can get a right tackle.
I'm just
Good
saying,
time to do it.
Joe Tooney's
Not
on the
ideal.
team. Joe Tooney switched last season from his Pro Bowl's position over one spot. And what happened in the Super Bowl? They ran him over in this.
He's not a tackle, man. He's a guard.
Not a tackle,
I know what
yeah.
he is. I'm just saying they moved him from his traditional position that he's proficient at to play another position under the auspice that he's very good, so he'll just get used to it. He didn't. It was a problem, and it was an exploited problem.
Well, but that was more out of necessity because the
It
guy that
was,
they
exactly.
got was
Fair.
like full of
a fair
shit.
point. But I mean, this would be out of necessity too, because we just drafted another right tackle. So I don't, I say
feel you.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep
Right.
it simple, stupid.
I mean,
I
because
feel you.
just look at the warrior mentality that Wright had when Poles did that interview and made him like tap out, but Wright wouldn't tap out. And then we saw Wright play through that shoulder back issue, whatever he was going through. And his play fell off a little bit, but he was never the liability on the line. Even when he was not at 100%, and you can look at him and tell he wasn't at 100%. But he played through that shit, and he came back stronger. So the dude's a warrior. He's a beast out there on the field, and wherever he is on the offensive line, I have confidence in him that he can do it. So if Poles and Coach Rochar and Coach Johnson think that Darnell Wright can prosper at left tackle, I'm down. I'm not thrilled about it. I have my precautions or my I need some Tums.
Mhm.
But if it works, it works. But if it don't work, fuck.
I think you need to think about upgrading the entire unit, right? So then the question you must ask yourself is, number one, if they move him, would the person they draft play at right tackle at a higher level than he's playing? Is it necessary that you have someone play at a higher level than he's playing? Then the second question is, if you move him to left tackle, would he perform better than your current left tackle? If the answer is,
I think it's negative on both cases, to be honest with you.
The answer is don't nobody damn know.
Right.
Well,
No one really knows.
but from what I've been seeing as far as the left tackle, right tackle, I've been seeing a lot of comments from the coaching staff about Amagaji Karan, and how they're looking forward to him having the full off-season evaluation and practice and acclimation, and his name keeps coming up like a lot as like, yeah, don't just sleep on him or dismiss him as not a competitor for that left tackle position.
Well, I wouldn't dismiss him, but I'm not going to count on him either, man. And I just feel like it's not an ideal situation to move Darnell from the right to the left side. But there's one player that if he falls to 10, and that's Armand Membou. If he falls to 10, then I'm moving Darnell to the left side, because that dude is going to solidify the right side. That dude is going to be a monster on that right side. And I know that Darnell Wright can play on the left side because we've seen him do it, like Nomad said, in 2021. It's not ideal for him to switch, but if he has the entire offseason now from this summer all the way up to the season, I'm pretty sure he'll get up to speed. I feel like I don't even feel like he's reached his full potential. I know he has it because I've seen him play in college, and I seen him play for Chris Morgan, and I know that he wasn't even the same player that he was in college, man. The way that he jumps that, and all of his little tricks of the trades, like all that stuff went away when he came here to play for the Bears. I think that stuff comes back under Dan Roshire, or what's how you say his last name, Trips?
Roshire?
Roshire, yeah, Dan Roshire. I think all that stuff comes back. I think
No, you keep saying Roshire.
Become a
Roshire.
better
Roshire.
Okay, Roshire. Yeah, Dan Roshire. That dude. Y'all know the good offensive line coach that we've been missing for the past 10, 15 years here in Chicago, that we so badly needed. The guy who's going to develop players, who's proven that he can develop players, man. I think that I would trust him to get Darnell Wright ready to play at left tackle if we've got the right guy on the left side. Now, that's the only guy that I'm saying that I will move him for. I don't think that there are a lot of day one ready left tackles in this draft. Probably 5 guys that I would say that are going to be ready to start game one, but there's more guys later in the draft that I think could also play left tackle. But I think that ideally I wouldn't move him, but if the opportunity presented itself for that guy, Armand Membou, then yeah, I would have to consider it, man, because that dude's a monster.
Well, before anybody else, just give me a second. No, I'm going to tee you guys up. I'm finna lay another little piece onto the conversation. Now, just think about this before you answer, because I do think there's a difference between left tackle and right tackle money. And Darnell Wright, I'm just gonna say that. And can you figure that into the equation? I'm gonna pass it right back to Sam. We'll go over from here.
Yeah, I'm sure he would welcome that change just for the money. You're right. There's a big difference in that left tackle and right tackle money. So yeah, and he's 2 years removed from a new contract. So yeah, absolutely. I think that I know he can do it, man. I think he has good work ethic. We've seen that from him. He just has to stay healthy. And like I said, he needs to be developed. I don't think that he still hasn't been developed. And I think that a lot of what he did in college that made him special, like that all went away when he became a Chicago Bear for some reason, and hopefully it all comes back.
What'd you say, kid?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure exactly where to go with this one.
Money is not the same. Lane Johnson is probably, I think about Lane Johnson, maybe one of the higher paid right tackles out there, but they definitely don't get the same they don't get, what's his name, Williams and San Fran, that kind of money, Laramie Tunzel kind of money. Those dudes get different kind of money, man. And any agent that's worth his salt that's with Darnell Wright is like, dude, you need to try to see if you can mosey your ass to the left side so you can, when that contract comes up, you can get that money. Right? Am I right, Ethereal? Or you still got something to say, kids?
No, I see where you're coming from a money, and I'm usually on the business side of all this. Like from a money perspective, I can understand why he would want to go over to the left. I'm just not sure if that's I don't know, man. He would have to prove it in, this is probably the best thing for me to say. He would have to prove it in camp, man. It would have to be a competition situation where he beats out whoever's there. Right now, it's really just Karan, because the other man's is still working to get back into football shape and managing his injury. So if they draft another guy who goes over there, even then I wouldn't mind him in a competition. But I would have hoped that he would have went to Ryan Poles and said, look, I want to compete for the left, bring in a guy on the right. Hopefully they would have had this conversation already. But that's where I'm at with it.
You only get the money if you're proficient in your new role.
Yeah.
Right. So when you look at his production at Tennessee at left tackle, even though he played there for 13 games his junior year, his performance at left tackle was nothing near what it is at right tackle. Right. So then there's a couple of things. Number one, I'm not saying it makes the Karan Amagaji pick last year a waste, but now we have 3 people who are competing for left tackle and 1 brand new shiny right tackle. Now I get the Bears love the shiny new, right? However, what you want to do is make sure that you are spreading the wealth across and the wealth in this case I'm talking about is draft picks.
Draft capital.
Yeah, you're spreading the wealth across the team in a way that is actually going to make you better as an organization, right? So if you're spending all these picks, that'll mean, you have your guy now. Last year you get Armand. The year before that, you just move your right tackle over to the left side, and then you're doing that. And next year, if for any reason this line does not perform up to snuff, we're going to be having a different conversation about Ryan Poles.
We don't want to consider it, but money is a factor because it's a business, and Braxton Jones is going to be due for that contract, next season, so he's coming up sooner rather than later. Whereas Darnell Wright, he's still going to be on his rookie deal for a little bit. So that may not be the determining factor, but it is a consideration when looking at, do we move, right over? Do we trust that Braxton is going to, come back from his injury and be able to be a contributor this season? Or is he going to be like more of a rehab mode and rebuild mode, trying to, progress on the field? That's not the best scenario for the team. The on-field production-wise, everything aside, we want the healthiest, best available guys out there. And if that means right at left tackle and then Membou at right tackle, all right, cool. But it's like, we've seen, what is that? The short arm dude. What is that? Campbell. If he falls, it's like, oh, we'll take him and make him the left tackle. Or Calvin Banks, we'll make him the left tackle. So, and then there's the guy that was hurt, the Simmons from Ohio State, moved back a little bit. And they were saying that he don't get hurt. He's a, top 10 left tackle, maybe the best left tackle in the class if healthy. So do we want to go that route? And it's like, it's tomorrow, baby. The draft is tomorrow. It's draft eve. I'm so hard right now.
Hey, Trip, you got a message in the private chat.
Keep it in your pants, Triple R.
Yeah, keep it in
Please.
there. We don't need to see that. But look, here's another conversation that I
wait, before we change this conversation, Chicago sports people, shout out to the Cubs for sweeping the Dodgers. And young phenom PCA Pete Pro Armstrong with 3 for 4, another home run, 4 RBIs. Yeah, that kid, he's a menace. He's a menace. All right, so we got some bright spots in the future. But yeah, back to draft eve. Go ahead, no man.
Hey, so shout out to Triple R because he's about to go over there and cook up some tender vittles for us.
No, I'll turn it over because of the bandwidth stuff. Chef Trips. I'm just gonna be sitting back like observing because I get my mouth watering and the succulents when Chef Trips be doing this thing. So I enjoy watching him as a fan myself.
All right. Get him popping, man.
Oh yeah. I'll let him know that y'all ready for him. We get the connections going. Go ahead.
Oh, Joseph Archer. Yes, sir. We will be live. And shout out to Joseph Archer and all the Super No Maniacs. Shout out to Derek Guy for renewing his Super No Maniac membership. When I tell you guys, I know I'm saying this over and over again, but we are right there at the precipice of putting this website out. And we're going to do, from that website, it's going to come a lot of things. You know what I mean? We're going to go after a press pass and hopefully we get our guy Samo. If Samo wants to go down there and get in the press room, we're going to try to tee it up too, for real. And so, listen, this
wait, what's that? The press
pass. I'm going to apply for it. I'm going to ask you to help me out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what you're doing. I know you know
it's been so hard. I've been trying for the past couple of years to try to get it, but
we might be in the perfect position to do it, man. I don't know if we're gonna get approval, but you can probably show me where to go. I don't even know where to start, so that'll be a help. Just that, you know what I mean?
I got you.
I want to talk about this talk. Let's start with this one. It sounds like the number 1 pick is solidified. They're not going to trade the number 1 pick. We can talk about that or no. Also, it's talk that New York And who is it? Who's right above New York? Who is that? Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Oh, in the draft?
Yeah,
It's even before New York. Patriots are after.
so it's talk that they're trying to be fluid with that pick, with those picks. And what do you guys think about that? That caught hot fire today on Twitter. The Bears got in the conversation. It's talk about we trying to move up to 4 or something like that. Was it 6 or 4 or something like that? I don't know if any of that's verified, but this is that time of the year where people start talking about, like, I think his name is Simon Collins on Twitter. He's supposed to be some kind of NFL guy. I don't know who he is, but he put a tweet out and said that the Bears is already a deal in place to move up to number 6 if Travis Hunter or somebody, I think it was Abdul Carter, was the fall or something like that. I don't know exactly what was said, but there's talk that there's a deal in place to move up to 6 to grab Ashton Jeanty. Are y'all buying that, or y'all calling bullshit?
I heard there was there's it's draft eve, y'all. You know what I mean? It's like the way that I have to preface this, because everybody and their mom's got a final draft, including my boy Sam, who rocked out 2 nice ones too. Everybody's got a final draft out there. One that I saw earlier today basically had the Bears jumping up and trading with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So actually, as a matter of fact, it was PFF. They did their own final mock today. And that was the big trade, man. Everything else looked pretty straightforward as far as I'm concerned. But big trade, Bears dropped down. They trade the 41st pick and the 10th to drop down to 5 and select Ashton Jeanty. Now, if you notice, over the past 24 hours, if not maybe 72 hours, Jeanty to Jacksonville has grown legs.
Yeah.
I also just want to put out there, they've got 2 really good running backs. They've got Travis Etienne, and they've got the Tank Bigsby, Tank something.
Hate to tell you, but them cats ain't that good.
I'm not. Well, Etienne's decent, and the draft capital that they invested to bring him on board was significant as well. He was the top of the draft running back when they selected him, right? So are they going to double back into the draft now, just a couple of years later, and get a running back at the top of the draft?
It feels like that's what they're missing when you look at Jacksonville. I had to look at them because I was doing Superflex with you, which is coming up soon enough. Once these draft picks are made, Kez will be pumping up Superflex again. And I'm going to just tell you, from what I saw on film, to me, it looked like that's exactly what they need right now. That seems to be like the missing piece for them.
I'm not so sure about that, because both of those backs did well last season. One did a little bit better than the other did. What they really need is to protect Trevor Lawrence. They got wide receivers over there. That's what they need to do. So I don't. The pick number 5 and pick number 6 are very interesting to me, and those are the 2 selections that everybody has Jeanty going to outside of the Bears. I don't know. In God's green earth, Jacksonville wouldn't be looking at either a secondary, as in a corner, or an offensive tackle. And then we move on to the Raiders being the pick that you're suggesting a potential trade at. And I like how they aren't getting a wide receiver blows my mind. They don't, and I've been saying it for weeks. Name me 2. Let's just be real about it. Name me 2 wide receivers in Vegas. We know who the one is, and he's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the wide receivers over there? So, like, you're going to pick a running back? Yeah, we understand you lost Josh Jacobs and you're mad about it. I get it. But there's a deep running back market today, and you have no wide receivers. You just got yourself a quarterback finally.
Kids is in his deep pipe dream about Ashton Jeanty. He's setting the table.
Damn straight I am. Damn straight. I just don't understand. I think really what I'm trying to say here is I think a lot of that is smoke and mirrors to get the Bears to jump. That's really what I'm trying to say. I feel like a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. We just watched let's get even deeper into psychological bullshit right now. We just watched Hard Knocks last season, where Ryan Poles getting squirrely. You know what I mean? He's getting squirrely for Romo. Right. I gotta jump up and get Rome. No, just chill, be cool. He'll follow you. I gotta jump up. No, you think they're gonna pick Rome? No. Oh man, we got him. Right. You want to make a man feel a little bit squirrely, so he does something silly and lets go of one of them picks. But I just don't see the validity in those two other teams selecting a running back in the top 6 picks. I don't.
Kids is making the case that, okay, I want them to do something to get Ashton Jeanty. But I am too tight ass to want to give up a pick to go give it up. That's what he's saying. That's basically, I want him, but I'm not willing to give up a pick to get him. That's what he's saying.
I'm willing to give up a pick to get him. I just don't believe the hype around the requirement to do so. That's where I'm at. I think it's a bluff. I think these teams I think both of those teams in those two positions need other things besides a running back in the upper echelon of this draft. That's just that's my rationale there. Could they pick him? Yeah, they could. But what wide receiver are you getting then? Who's Geno Smith going to throw the ball to? You know what I'm saying? Like who's he throwing the football to? And on the other side, you got a fantastic quarterback, and he needs protection. You get a running back.
Hey kids, can Trip see the private chat in the kitchen?
He cannot.
Oh, so I think we gotta. I don't know. Based on what he told you,
I'm just waiting for one of these.
Oh, okay.
That comes with something else.
Look, man, ain't no way in here. Kids, you just asked the question. You just said, how can he fuck this up? And this is how. About trading up and getting rid of draft capital, I think that's the worst thing that we could do right now. Yeah. Even if it is Ashton Jeanty, man, maybe I can feel better about making a trade up for Abdul Carter, because that's a guy that plays a premium position. And he's the top guy in this position in this draft that, those guys are going to fly off the board pretty fast. This draft has a plethora of really good running backs that we can pick up later in this draft if we miss out on Ashton Jeanty. But if you ask me if there's some validity to this, I think there is actually, kids, which is, and it upsets me just because I know how Ryan Poles falls in love with character.
Oh, snap.
With character. We know how he falls in love with character, man. Yeah. So, and this guy has shown himself to be have great football character, great work ethic. He did the same thing with Darnell Wright. He was a great kid, had great work ethic, great character. Those things, the same thing last year with Roma Dunze. He was ready to move up for Roma Dunze. Poles falls in love with those things, man. And I think he gets blinded by the fact that, one guy is not going to be greater than the sum of, whatever he trades away, because it's going to be 3 picks. It's going to be 2 or 3 picks. It's going to be 3 picks. I can't see him doing it for just a second round pick, allowing him to move up. Even if it's just a second round pick, that's a quality starter that we're getting at 39 and 41. Those are 2 quality starters that we're getting at those positions, man. Possibly a left tackle, possibly a great running back, a really good tight end, a really good defensive tackle. There's so many different ways that we can go with those 2 second round picks. It's ridiculous, man, because there are going to be a lot of good players that fall down there. But to me, that's the way that he can mess this up, man, and undo all the good that he's done so far this offseason. That kind of negates all the good that you've done if you get rid of draft capital and you put all your eggs in this one basket for this one player that happens to be a running back, in a draft that's full of really good running backs, man. We can draft 2 guys, I think, in this draft. I've been drafting 2 guys, man, just because I feel like there's so many guys that a lot of good players are going to fall. So why move up and lose draft capital when we still need to build depth? We still need some quality starters in certain positions where guys are going to go away. Safety, for instance, like we don't have any safety under contract past this season. So it's like it's too much. We do have a lot of needs. People don't think we have a lot of needs. We do have a lot of positions we need to hit in this draft. So that's a no for me, man. If I want him at 10, I'm with you, kids. If he falls to 10, go get him.
Shout out to LaVall Nichols. Real fast. Yeah, I'll let you go. He said, this is a question I think Kez might have mentioned to me a couple weeks ago. He says, I think the Bears do trade up and they'll go after Carter. I think he asked me specifically. He's like, all right, we was talking about, who, if there's a trade up scenario, who do you go for? Or something like, who do you think is worth a trade up? Is there a guy on that board that's worth a trade up? And I was like, it's 2 unique. I think it's 1 unique person there. It's several unique guys there. But if the Bears were to trade up, I felt like Abdul Carter would probably be it. And so shout out to LaVall Nichols. I don't know if I ever seen you in the chat, but welcome to the community, my guy. Come back more and more often. But to his point, I mean, Ethereal, what do you think about that, man? There's other things in the world outside of Ashton and Jeanty that they might move up for.
Absolutely. If the Bears, this is what it's saying to me. If the Bears are willing to trade draft capital to move up in the draft, if it's Ashton Jeanty more so than anybody else, but Abdul Carter as well, it's saying we're ready for prime time. It's saying we can withgo some other picks, some other needs that we may have, because we believe that this person is such a game changer to take us to the next level. To me, that means that a 9-win season is not good enough. If you go and you're giving up first or second round draft capital to move up, or early draft capital from next year's draft, you're saying this is the guy that gets us there. And if he proves not to be that guy, then either one of 2 things is true. Or one of 3 things is true. Either you didn't evaluate him right and he's not as good and doesn't make as good an impact on your team as you thought. The guys that you brought in during the offseason did not make the impact to the team that you thought, or the coaches that you brought in did not get out of the players what you thought they would get out of them when you put them in those positions. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying if you do it and it doesn't work out, then once again, you have given up the potential of bringing more impact players into our locker room because you thought we were going to draft a savior. Now, I firmly believe there are very few saviors in the league, which means you would be better off democratizing that talent over 2 or 3 really good players over the hope that one player can change an entire, side of the ball.
See why I like this guy, man.
Absolutely. That's it right there.
Man, dude, it's something to think about, man. It's to be honest with you, the thought of trading up really, I don't like it. But I'm just thinking, I try to get past what I want and what I think is the right thing for the Bears versus being a podcaster and trying to learn how to play the fence and being okay. I think this is a question we all need to ask ourselves, especially us that have dove deep into this draft and committed to these players. Like when I put Kez and Samo's boards up, these are players that I know that they feel firmly about. And, at different points in the draft, if we get opportunities to get these guys, I guess I've called a truce with myself and said, you know what, I'm not going to get upset if they don't get the guys that I would like for them to get, because that runs rampant around this fan base. People get upset with the draft picks instead of trusting their vision inside that building and just being a fan. You know, this whole podcasting community, the analyst community, the scouting community, all combined, we all play a part in that shit. And I'm just trying to humble myself enough to be able to accept whatever they decide to do. But I know who I'm like Samuel, I can tell you right now, I know that you got a bucket full of dudes that you feel so firm about, like you can't miss with these players. I got a bunch of them. And I think we're going to get a handful of them. I think we're going to get 3 to 4 of those guys that we went hard in on. I think they're going to end up at Chicago Bears at whatever round they get them. They'll end up here in this building. And that's grateful. I mean, I feel good about when you put the work in and those are that's the fruit that comes off the tree. That's great. But I'm going to be okay with whatever they do. And, you know, we'll do, you know, all I care about is if they go up and get Ashton, jeanty, I'll be fine with it. I don't think they should, but I'll be okay with it. I just want that shit to result in the W column. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. Go ahead. Y'all can speak to that, man. I just want to be all right with it.
No, absolutely. When you say end up in the W column, I'm listen, I'm not trying to poke any wounds here, right? I'm not. But I'm going to say some things that some people might feel a certain way about. When and you know what it is. So we were 7-10 when we traded number 1. And the thought was his replacement is going to come in and improve play at that spot. Now, even though we were 7-10 in that season, our team played well enough to be 10-7, were it not for a few mistakes by the coach. So technically speaking, were it not for the mistake of the coach, we were a playoff team. Last year, that projected number without the coach's mishap was cut in half. And now some people are barely crawling back and saying, oh, we're shooting for 8 wins or 9 wins this season. No, we should be shooting for 11 or 12 wins. Mm-hmm. If, in fact, those players that you brought in based on our projection in that, if we're looking at like the stock market and we bringing in players in that, we should be going up. We shouldn't be stagnant. If we're stagnant, what the hell are we doing here? Why are you bringing people on the team if we're not getting better as an organization?
True.
Absolutely took a step back, like you said. And this could lead to another step back. And everything that you said about that trade, where you said there were 3 things for it to be the 3 things that you listed, I think that those same 3 things would have to occur for this trade to be right. Jeanty would have to be the guy that they thought he was. The coaches would have to be the coaches that we think they are. And everyone else that they brought in around them have to work out. They're just 3 things. All 3 of those things have to work out for this trade to be a good trade. So why I think that creates, I think there's a bigger risk in making a trade for a player, man. When I think that you got the opportunity to draft 3 different players, man, and in 2 in the second round, 1 in the first round, and the more shots that you take in the draft, the more likely you are to hit than to just put all your eggs in this one basket and this one player, man. So I'm just, man, I can't wrap my arms around or my mind around, that just being a really good idea. But if it works out, it works out. But too many things have to work out outside of, just picking him up in order for it to be a good trade to me. And it has to result in wins. Like Nomad said, if it doesn't result in wins, then it was a bad trade. If we don't make it to the playoffs, because if you're doing that, if you're making that trade, you're telling me like, this is the final piece. This is going to get us over the hump. We're going to get to the playoffs. We might not get to 12 wins, but we're going to either win our division and get to the playoffs, or we're going to definitely be a wild card. And I just don't, I can't just put all my eggs in that one basket and say like, yep, if we get Ashton, jeanty, it's over with. I just can't feel that. Unless you have to have an amazing plan towards after that. If you trade up, what's your plan afterwards in order to bring in more players? Because we need more players.
Sam, I've been wanting to ask you, man. Like for me, this is me in the trade back scenario in mind. And I'm not even if they don't trade back, I think it's possible because you can accumulate a pick or two somewhere else after 10. You know, you got 2 picks back to back kind of sitting right there at 39 and 41. You can move one of them and get some pretty good value for it. Like, to me, and I've been saying this all off season, the drafting the 2-back scenario to me makes a lot of sense. Does that make sense to you at all? Because I think unless DeAndre Swift busts out with a 1,800 yard season with like 15 touchdowns or something like that, he probably ain't coming back to Chicago. And so now what you're looking at, you know what I mean? You got to look forward. What do you think about the 2-back scenario in this draft?
Man, I've been looking at that all off season, saying like, man, there's so many really good running backs in this draft that you have the opportunity to draft 2 really good running backs. We saw that. That's the way that Ben Johnson liked to operate in Detroit last season with the 2 running backs, you know, having a little lightning and a little bit of thunder. So I would think that, you know, that's the ideal situation for us to have. And so we're not wearing one guy down, and then we have a really good backup in case one guy does go down. You know, we got somebody to carry the slack for a little while until that guy gets back healthy again. So, man, yeah, I think that's the ideal situation is for us to get 2 really good running backs than to just rely on one guy. I think that if we did get Ashton Jeanty, then the Bears will be looking at it like, okay, we got Jeanty and now we also have Swift. But like you said, Swift is probably not going to be here next year.
Well, we'll see if that's the case. Again, you can always draft a running back next year too. You know what I mean? That doesn't you're not precluded from doing that either. But I do like the Thunder and Lightning idea. I do also kind of feel like, you know, Swift kind of got ushered out under Ben Johnson's watch in Detroit, right? So I'm not sure how long he is for Chicago. So I do like the idea of drafting 2, especially if you don't get, you know, if you don't get that Jeanty dream pick that you're trying to pull off, right? If that falls by the wayside, yeah, man, like trade back twice. Like that's where I am. If you're not getting Jeanty, I'd be looking to trade back 2 times, maybe grab Nick Emanwari. You know, 1 of 1 right there. Grab Nasty Nick, and then, you know, hopefully you've got 2 more selections in that top 100 that you can just get nasty with too. So that's my 2 cents on the matter, really.
One of you guys want to take a look at your big board before Tripp start cooking it? I want to wait till he starts cooking because it's going to be a little period where we're gonna have to. It's up to you guys, man.
No. Let's. I hear the chef is in the building, man. So let's get that right.
Let's get him going.
All right, thank you guys. As Trips comes up, I'll create some room for the chef, and I will tap out and see you all later. I'll tag on to the show, but I just want to make sure you all are, you know, getting hungry when you see this food is coming up here.
Shout out to E for his first. This is introductory role as a podcaster / producer. If you can pop back in, just look at how stuff goes on, man. I think you're gonna play an important role over here, and you're gonna be very helpful for what we do over here, man. Appreciate you, my guy.
Will do.
All right, brother. All right. So without further ado.
Chef Trips is MFer in the kitchen.
Shout out real quick. Shout out to our guy Hair Bear for the production on that. That was a Hair Bear beat, and it's gonna definitely serve 2 masters because it's gonna get reused. But shout out to Hair Bear for the production. It's Chef Trips time, man. What's going on, cuz?
Hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We can do both.
We hear you, brother.
Welcome to the kitchen of Chef Trips. I'm your owner and proprietor, Chef Trips, and for the Nomad Network, you can also refer to me as a MFer in the kitchen.
Indeed.
And for tonight, we will be preparing by request healthier chicken tenders. So we will just be using very basic, healthier ingredients. No deep frying, no flour, and none of that nonsense. And then also, while we cook, we have the as they say accoutrements, the condiments of the different sauces that we offer here at Shea Trips that you can have served with your chicken tenders.
What
And
you
you
said?
can also make the sauces at your own house with the healthier ingredients and make them sweeter or spicier or tangier or hotter or however you prefer for your taste buds and your dietary requirements and or restrictions. So we can show those while the food is cooking. And so I will get to the cooking, and then the kids of the Canucks, he can inform me of any questions or comments from the chat of the No Maniacs, which hello, and then we can have the conversation from there.
Right on.
We cooking. He sounds like he's cooking some kind of healthy version of chicken tenders, Crimson. And I'm interested to see where this goes. This comes at the request of my girlfriend. It was just like, so ask him to make some chicken tenders. I'm like, okay, that's like the most boring shit in the world. But okay, I'll ask him. You know what I mean?
So what we have done now, we have the olive oil in our skillet over a medium heat. And we will be adding a tablespoon of butter to the olive oil. And then once the butter is all melted, we will be introducing our chicken tenders that I've already cut from 2 chicken breasts. And then I cut those in half and cut those in half and then cut those in half the long way.
Hey,
And
hold
so
on.
they're all about the same size and should cook almost same time. But since I already know that the center of the skillet gets a little bit hotter than the outside, I will put the thicker pieces on the center. So it should all cook about the same time.
Hold on now, Chef. You just said you're making a healthier version of the chicken tenders, man. My jeans got tight the minute you said olive oil and butter.
Well, this is unsalted butter, and it is a good fat for the frying and for the flavor, and the olive oil to help circumvent, so we're not using all butter.
Oh,
A
Lord.
little flavor will not hurt you, as you are the health enthusiast of the program, and butter is good for you, and it helps also flavor and make your food taste better.
Hey, we got keto people. I ain't the only keto person, kid. We trying to get kids in there. I'm beating him up like every chance I get to try to get him where he need to get to. And you messing it up, kids. Don't watch this shit, man. Just turn your camera off.
What kind of season?
No, man, that unsalted butter, he's right, and olive oil is straight up keto. You got to keep your research up, man. You got to keep your research up, doc. That's some healthy fats.
Does it? I just eat it. I can't believe it's not butter and just believe in it.
Oh, good God. You can't. That's not keto. That's the least keto shit that you can possibly eat.
That I can't not believe is not butter. Is not butter. They can't believe it because of the chemicals and ingredients and additives that it is, because it is not butter, and there is no fucking way you would believe that shit. So we get the good fats, like the Canucks was saying. You have the bad cholesterol, you have the good cholesterol, and so far this is the good cholesterol.
Good cholesterol. That's what I was just about to ask, Chef. I'm also going to ask Chef, what did you use as seasoning on that chicken, man? Because it's looking a little light over here. I can't. We need to zoom in and see exactly what you put on there.
Well, what we did earlier, I pre-seasoned, which I will add now that you mentioned it, but I will add some paprika. And for those of you who add seasonings over your food while you cook it, always verify that the lids are on tight, as you don't want to dump all of these spices into your food. And then also, fun fact, as we were talking last week about condensation, if you get the crusties on top, that is just the condensation from the steam going into your spices, and that's what makes it crusty up here. So just wash that
Hey,
off
Chef.
and brush it right into your foods.
Hey, Chef, what can I do about
And
my
then-
seasonings? What can I do about my seasonings in the cabinet? They keep getting rock hard when I ain't use them after a while.
One moment, please, and then we add a little salt of the natural sea varieties across our chicken tenders as they are frying here. And then we will also add a little ground black pepper.
Chef Trip don't give a shit about your hard seasoning.
He sure don't.
Well, no, your hardened seasonings, sometimes that means you have what causes the hardening is the moisture or the condensation or any kind of thing that makes it wet. So your tops may not be screwed on as hard, but even if they are chunky, you take like an ice pick or a fork or something safe and you poke it loose and it will come out crumbly. So it is not, let's say, garbage because it is hard and crunchy. You can just chip it off like a rock and sand it down, and it comes back and it's beautiful.
Everybody know you can do that, man. You shanking the damn seasoning up. I know that.
So we ain't throwing that shit away.
He said put some popcorn from
He's a chef. He is a MacGyver. You know what I mean?
well, also there is only so much you can do with these spice bottles as they are so small. As we learned last week, I utilize like this bigger container over here to keep my brown sugar, and I keep the slice of bread there inside. Can you see that right there?
Hold
Can
on.
we go to the big screen in the middle for the kitchen cam, please, Mr. Producer Kids? So right here.
I don't know how to do that one.
That's
Give me a
right.
second. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, here
And
we
so
go.
we
Here we
put
go.
we put the
Producer Kids.
thank
put
you
a
very
piece of
much.
bread in there.
And so we put a piece of bread in here, and the bread is pretty stiff, pretty hard. But the brown sugar is very light and flaky. And most people's brown sugar is very rock hard. But the premise being that there is enough room in this container that the bread can fit in and absorb all the moisture, keeping the sugar light and airy. But we cannot do that in the spice containers because of the size restrictions.
Hey,
Now, the
hey,
bread ain't gonna mold in there, man.
I got people
No.
teasing the strips because if you're talking about Scroll talking about we be keeping seasoning for 6 years. Man, you a black man or not, Scroll? Everybody got seasoning, old ass seasoning, man. You know damn well we got old. You got some old ass seasoning. Your mama got some. Everybody got some. Ain't
The
teased.
seasoning only gets better as it ages, as it gets more powerful, strong, and
Tell 'em.
potent.
I was just gonna say, Skull's got a better question though, man. Let
What
me
was
just throw that up here. I gotta find it though. No, not that one. Here, where is it now?
Nah, you got some paprika in there. He ain't lying.
Come on, Scrolls. Where's that question? It was great. I was laughing. It was
Samuel, tell the truth. You got some old ass seasoning in there, don't you?
Old ass season. You still find something, especially when you're barbecuing. That's when because when I'm barbecuing, I go in the cabinet and I look for all the seasonings because I'm like, I'm about to hook something up. You find something really old, like you say, it's all hard and crusty. You beat it across the counter a little bit, loosen it up, and you let it
Scrolls
do
is
what it
asking,
do,
why
baby.
does Chef Trips talk like Elijah Muhammad?
You're Muslim, that's why.
No, I'm not I'm not of the Muslim religion, but assalamu alaikum to all of the brothers and sisters out there. And I do not know, as I am from Chicago and other places over by there.
I'm sorry. That was great. That was good stuff. I had to acknowledge that one. Well played, Scrolls. Well played, brother.
And then as we have turned our chicken tenders over, we will now season the other sides.
All right.
Black man in America.
As you're seasoning that up, we'll get a little bit of love to this Raising Cane sauce, man. How about it?
Please do.
honey mustard sauce. A sweet heat with a bit of a tang. Try it for yourself. Perfect for chicken tenders, salads, sandwiches, roasted veggies, potato chips, or anything that you would like this condiment on. In a sealable jar or a bowl, combine 1/4 cup of mayonnaise or plain Greek yogurt to make it a bit healthier, 1/4 cup of honey, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Mix well. Then give a taste to see if you need to add any more of the ingredients to your taste preferences. After another good mix, seal the container and refrigerate for at least 30 minutes before using. And it is beautiful.
That's pretty good.
Beautiful.
I'm sending that one to my
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah, that looks beautiful.
My girlfriend a honey mustard girl. I ain't no honey mustard person.
Yo, honey mustard will change your life too, man. I've had it on certain things. I'm like, what is that flavor? And it for the most part, it's almost always honey mustard. But anyways, I was trying to play the Raising Cane and I messed up. So let's get at it.
And she like the hot honey mustard.
Try this bold, tangy, peppery, flavory sauce in your own kitchen, as it will go with tenders, sandwiches, french fries, or whatever. And it will be beautiful. In a sealable jar or a bowl, combine 3/4 cup of mayonnaise, or to make it a bit healthier, use plain Greek yogurt, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, 5 teaspoons of the Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 3/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and a pinch of celery salt. Mix until combined and smooth. Taste to see if you need to add any more ingredients. Cover and refrigerate to let rest for a minimum of 6 hours before use. Enjoy!
My girlfriend gonna be all
You
over.
can find all of the ingredients and step-by-step instructions on the easy to navigate Shade Trips page at sportschicagostyle.com.
Gotta love it.
My girlfriend gonna be all over this shit.
Raising honey
And
mustard.
so now, for the next video, we will queue up the duck sauce. But right now, as you can see, I am introducing another tablespoon of butter and garlic to the hot spot of the skillet, and I will saute for about 30 seconds before mixing with the rest of the chicken.
Okay.
Looking good.
As we can see, our tenders are basically cooked, nice and through, nice and soft. We want to keep the garlic moving, as garlic can burn very fast, very easily, and burnt garlic is not so delicious.
Hey man, hey, your girl said she waiting on your ass. Said you
So
taking
now, as we have got the garlic in, we're going to move the chicken tenders around in that baiting of the garlic to get them all coated on both these sides. And this will disperse all of the juices. And so now that the garlic is pretty covered, we will introduce our Italian seasonings over the top.
I like the fact that he's doing this as healthy as he can do it. I love it. I love it.
And then we put that in there. And so
It's
as
making me
we let these simmer for a little bit more, I will also add a a tablespoon of water to deglaze the skillet
Hey, Trips.
and get all of the crunchy good bits in there. Yes, sir.
Berlin said, man, you ain't making enough. You're supposed to put that other 2 or 3 packs in there.
Other 2 or 3 packs of what?
That chicken, she said you only made 1 pack of chicken. That's for her. That ain't
Well, she's
Say,
gonna
what
have
you
to go
gonna
on a
eat?
diet.
What she say? What you gonna eat?
pretty much.
Now, while the water that I introduced simmers out, go ahead and play the duck sauce video, please, Mr. Ted Canucks.
I don't know if Kez is there.
which you can find an
Edge is here.
Oh, okay.
Boom and boom.
easy recipe here on the channel or on the website at Sports Chicago Style. Half teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir all together. Serve immediately or store in the
I do
refrigerator.
not think that
up
is
to
the
a
right
week
video,
in
or
a
it did not
sealed,
start at the beginning.
Let's try again.
which is the perfect balance of sweet, tangy, and savory flavors. Add 1 cup of apricot jam, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. Add 1 teaspoon of sweet chili sauce, of which you can find an easy recipe here on the channel or on the website at Sports Chicago Style. Half teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir all together. Serve immediately or store in the refrigerator up to a week in a sealed jar. Enjoy! Try this easy homemade duck.
And there's a duck sauce.
Hey, Trips.
Yes.
So what you gonna do with all that leftover duck sauce with old Berlin waiting on you? You gonna use it
Well,
on?
sometimes you can use the duck sauce with like plain potato chips, like with the ridges, because they are very thick and they can hold like a dip. But they can use the sauce. But you can also use them on nipples and toes.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
And sometimes Mr. Brown Eye.
Not nasty.
And when you have to toss the
Not
salads
Mr. Brown.
in the kitchen terms, you give
Oh,
the sauces like the movie The 9.5 Weeks, when they were in front of the refrigerator on the floor, being very erotic with the foodstuffs. You can do the same with the fruits, with the vegetables, and it's not just an eggplant, not just the eggplants.
You have full Mickey Rourke, man.
Nasty Nathaniel in the building.
On that note, let's get to the let's just rock out on some sweet and sour sauce, because like I don't know where he's gonna slather that.
I'd throw the rest of that shit in the garbage, man. You better not use
Vegetable oil over a medium-low heat. Add
Well, you got to start from the beginning.
a small
They're starting midway through, but here we go. One more again. No.
today from Shea. Homemade sweet and sour sauce with pineapple tidbits. It is beautiful. In a saucepan, heat the vegetable oil over a medium-low heat. Add garlic and then a small pinch of cayenne pepper and stir for 2 minutes. Mix in the vinegar and the soy sauce. Then add the brown sugar, and to make it a wee bit healthier, I am using stevia brown sugar instead of regular. Add the ketchup and cook until simmering, stirring often. Add the juice and cornstarch mixture, then bring to a boil, whisking constantly until thickened. Reduce the heat to low and simmer for 3 to 4 minutes. Mix in the pineapple tidbits and season with black pepper to taste. For all of the ingredients and instructions, visit the Shea Trips page at sportschicagostyle.com. Customize the ingredients according to your taste and or dietary requirements.
Quick question, you guys.
Store in the refrigerator in a jar or a closed container. Enjoy.
Quick question, fellas. When you get your Asian food, Chinese food, whatever you want to call it, what do you go for? You go for the sweet and sour, or you go for the duck?
Sweet and sour, baby.
Usually sweet and sour.
Yeah, I don't mess with the duck.
I like the duck.
And for many times in many of the neighborhood places, they do not have the duck sauce.
That's
That
usually
is
mine.
more your medium to higher end locales.
Yep. It's the sweet and sour or the soy. That's what you really should have asked.
I mix them up. I mix them up on my fried rice and shrimp
Oh
fried
yeah,
rice.
you got to put a little bit on that fried rice.
Dog, he gonna. I ain't finna fall into Tripp's trap, man. He gonna get you hungry every time you watch him cooking shit. Trust me when I tell you. But hey, Trips, man.
But now, yes. But now, while we are letting the rest of these flavors simmer, I will show you the condiments that two of the condiments that we saw earlier. And if you can see here, go full screen. This will be the honey mustard sauce. As you can see, it now the flavors have had the opportunity to marry a little bit, and they've had coitus many times and conjugal visits, so it's nice and thick, and you can see drip from the chopstick. So this will also be one of the flavors here.
Did you say nice and thick?
Nice and thick, not thin.
You were supposed to repeat that.
And so now, over here, behind off the camera, I am releasing the steam from the instant pot where I made some beautiful brown rice. And as that steam releases, I will also show you another one of the sauces, which is the Raising Cane sauce. As you can see, it is very black peppery, and it is the recipe that some people call a comeback sauce because it has the hot sauce in there. But this is basically the same Raising Cane's recipe, and it is very smooth, it is very creamy, and it is very peppery. And because you are making it in your own kitchen, you can customize it as you will with more or less pepper, more or less whatever ingredient it may be.
Hey, chef.
Yes.
You ain't walking around in your drawers and church socks, are you?
With a t-shirt on.
It gets hot in the kitchen.
Just a t-shirt and some flip-flops.
Well, that's what you wear when you're cooking in the kitchen as the heat gets so intense from the beautiful foods that are cooking. So now that the steam has released from the rice, I will unlock the top and then fluff it around. And these sauces, these condiments, these that we mentioned before that we saw the videos of, if you want to snazz up a bowl of just plain rice, you can throw a tablespoon of whatever sauce and you mix it up in the rice and you have a flavorful distraction from that you are just eating rice.
Shout out to Willie Neal who just busted up in this piece. Shout out to everybody who just came in here for the first time in the chat. Anybody that's not subscribed to the channel, we're gonna turn him down for a minute. Anybody not subscribed to the channel, you would do us a great service, great favor by hitting the subscribe button. We will very much appreciate that, you guys.
Right on. While the chef is chefing, we will get to the next flavorful sauce, being sweet chili sauce.
I've never tasted this.
You've never had the sweet chili? The sweet chili is good, man. I'm telling you.
That sweet chili off the chain.
What y'all be eating it on?
Kind of
Chicken.
depends.
Any chicken.
Chicken. Yep, chicken for the most part. You know what?
Where's it at?
What sauce is fire? Is that Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A.
What?
I think didn't you make that trip?
He made the Polynesian. I gotta go look up that recipe.
Well, what was that again, please?
The Polynesian Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce. Now that I can put
I
that
have
on
not
everything.
done that one specifically. I did the two different kinds of the sweet and sour, one with the pineapple tidbits and one without. But I will look into the Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce, as the Samo says, for
Look out
future
for it. Yes,
videos.
sir.
It's online, man. I saw it recently this week.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Check
For
that
real.
one out.
It didn't seem all that hard to make either.
What it tastes like? What's the Polynesian shit taste like?
Man, I can't even describe it. It's like a sweet, spicy, got a little bit of spice to it.
Well, being Polynesian, it should have a pineapple sweetness to it.
Yeah.
And now, as you can see here, I am starting to nice plate. I am sorry, as Minister Charles will be upset at me as well, as I forgot to pull out a vegetable. But we will survive. So now
To make
we
this
have a
easy
little
and delicious Asian chicken marinade, you will need a resealable bag.
Damn. Why does it keep doing that?
That was the Asian chicken marinade, which is very good when you want to make a chicken stir fry or make a chicken dish with just a little flavor from the Far East.
You know what it's bad for, though? It's bad for me running this sweet chili sauce promo for you. That's all I'm trying to do, and it keeps going to another video. But I will run this. I swear. You know what? I will do it the old-fashioned way.
I ain't never had Raisin Cane's. I don't Chick-fil-A.
I never had Raisin Cane's either.
You like Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A off the chain, yes, sir.
You thought that was overrated.
It's off the chain.
I've only.
The
Like
Polynesian
original recipe.
The original chicken sandwich.
Yep, the original. I don't like the sandwich. I just get the little nuggets.
Oh,
But there's like original. It's like tastes like KFC original recipe a little bit to me.
yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. Somebody I know had a bad experience in there. Why? The first time I went to Chick-fil-A, which my food was okay, but his shit was fucked up. Not his food, but his actual drink. It was a fucking roach frozen in an ice cube.
Ooh.
And I was just like, you know what? This food was it wasn't even over the top and all like they make it seem like when you're down in the South. And I'm just like, fuck that. I ain't going back there no more.
Where was this? This was at Chick-fil-A?
In Atlanta, man, at Chick-fil-A.
Look, so I've only been to Chick-fil-A the one time, right? I went the one time. It was they actually just opened one here in town, but I was in Toronto and we were driving around and I went to the Chick-fil-A. Problem is, the day before on the way up to Toronto, I stopped at Wendy's and I got a Wendy's Asiago chicken ranch sandwich. I don't know if y'all ever had the Wendy's chicken sandwich. It's the spicy. It's a badass chicken sandwich. I'm just saying, it's a good chicken sandwich. I got the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A and I'm like, you know what? Like, this is so overrated. The Wendy's sandwich is it's at least on par, if not better than this sandwich that I'm eating at Chick-fil-A. I don't understand what the hype is. You know what I mean? So I had the fries and the Polynesian sauce dip, which was good. Like, I appreciated that. But I was like, chicken sandwich for chicken sandwich. I ain't driving to Toronto for Chick-fil-A. Screw, you know what I'm saying?
Well, as the legendary hip hop group Public Enemy said, don't believe the hype.
It's a sequel.
And so now, if we go to the main cook camera, please, as you can see, I have the brown rice as the bed with the chicken tenders laying there nice and softly. And then on the side, I have the cane sauce and the honey mustard sauce for right now. And so for this piece of chicken, for the taste test, I am cutting it with my fork. And then we can look in there and we can see how beautiful and white and juicy it is. So I will take a taste. And of course, you always take a taste of your food with no sauce on it because sometimes you don't need sauce. But I'm making these sauces here for the visualizations.
Oh no,
What's wrong?
it looks good. No, don't listen to me.
It is very subtle. You can taste the buttery difference, so that does make a difference as opposed to just using olive oil. And the Italian seasonings are very light and very subtle. And then the garlic is very beautiful mixed with that butter. And then the succulence of the white meat is very good as we cooked it over a medium heat. So we did not overcook it to make it dry out or stringy.
Hey, Berlin said, "Don't you eat shit else? That's it. Now bring me the plate."
Hey, boy, you just made me hungry than butt.
So these are some ways that you can make the chicken tenders that don't have to be all crunchy and unhealthy with the crust and the frying and all of that nonsense. You can enjoy the flavors in your own kitchen with the different sauces from the different restaurants that you can make in your kitchen with the healthier twist and ingredients and customized to your taste and your dietary requirements and or restrictions, as I said before, and in a little to no time at all, and also save money with the budgets because while those fast food restaurants are using poor quality food, a lot of pesticides and bad sciencey stuff in the food, they are also overpriced. So you can save money and be healthier and enjoy your foods as we have to eat every day and you have to enjoy your foods. So these are the chicken tenders, and I hope you will try this recipe in your kitchen.
Hey, chef, one more thing before you get out of here.
Yes.
You and Berlin ain't gonna do nothing nasty after this, are y'all?
Well, that is like saying, are you not going to get wet when you take a shower? Berlin,
Sit your ass down.
she is very freaky deaky. So anytime, every time, all the time, and not ever, none of the time. There's always freakiness. So I would like to thank everyone for. Oh, you can go to me now, Mr. Producer, on the camera. I would like to thank everyone for allowing effort in the kitchen, into your household, into your device, into your world. And I hope you tried these recipes. Now, please go to sportschicagostyle.com and you can go to the Shea Trips page. That's here. And you can find all of the ingredients and all of the instructions for all of the recipes and the video recipes that I have made. And then there are also, we have put together and edited the live clips from here on the Nomad Network and put those up live as well to show the foods and how you can be healthier and still enjoy your meals and not spend so much money. So Sports Chicago Style, and those are also the name to support on the Ko-fi, the Patreon, and to follow on the social media platforms of the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky, and then follow and like the videos on the YouTube page, Sports Chicago Style.
Shout out to Chef Trips, man. No, for real, y'all. Y'all need to check him out, man, because his recipes and all that stuff is catching hot fire over there. Really catching hot fire, and he's starting to really gin up some traction over there. I'm telling y'all, man, the way Trips does this thing on Sports Chicago Style is very unique, man. And I think people really starting to take to it. That's what it is in this business, man. You got to really be adamant about putting your stuff out there, and I ain't got nothing but respect for you. Just don't do no nasty ass shit, man. After this over,
the sauce boss. I'm gonna start calling
Open wide.
The sauce boss.
That looks good, man.
It does, man. You're making me hungry. You got
You want to
eat.
wrap your lips around this sweet meat, don't you?
Oh no.
Wow.
Cut.
Man, sit your ass down.
But once again, thank you very much. And now I have to go as the work is never done here in the kitchen of Shea Trips. So
All right.
remember all of these social media platforms, and I look forward to seeing you next time on a MFer in the kitchen.
Hey, tell Triple R to come holler at me on the podcast, man. We still got a little time.
I will do. Now, are there any other questions or comments that I should know about or hear or address from the Nomaniacs before I depart?
One thing I heard somebody said you need. Did you get the Polynesian sauce? somebody said if you ain't tried that, you gotta try it.
Yes, that is on my mental list to pursue and to show the easier recipe for.
So there's two sauces that I haven't rolled yet. So let's roll those sauces before you get out of here, Chef.
Please do.
So here's that sweet chili I've been trying to roll this whole time.
To make this easy and
Good Lord
delicious
above
Asian
me.
chicken marinade,
It
you
really
need a-
wants to play the Asian chicken marinade. I'm just saying. I don't know why it really wants to play
Give
the
me a
Asian
syllable
chicken
back.
marinade, but maybe we should just allow it to play the Asian chicken marinade and call it a day with that.
How many times?
Now we're getting into other stuff. Give me a second.
Or have you been drinking, kids the Canucks?
Only a little bit. Only.
Kids,
There has been a little bit of alcohol involved in the night. I'll just let you guys. I'll let you guys know.
I understand now. We understand.
All
that's
right.
what they
So
call
maybe
it, some
we-
extra sauce.
maybe we skip that particular sauce and we go to the other sauce, and maybe this one will actually play. Let's try this one. Boom. All right.
Actually, he does got a question. Shorty asked him a question.
What's Mr. Shorty saying?
What he says Shea Trips. Can Shea Trips make an oatmeal-based meatloaf with sauce? Hell no, I can
Oatmeal-based
ask you that.
meatloaf.
Don't you be type of motherfucker that putting raisins in the goddamn potato salad, man. You can't be doing shit like that.
How do you
No,
make meatloaf
you
with
cannot
oatmeal?
have raisins in the potato salad, as the health inspector sometimes confuse those for la cucarachas.
Valentini Caminas.
La
Right.
cucarachas.
He ain't get none of that, dog. Not at all.
All right, here we go with the dragon sauce then.
unleash the fiery kick of dragon sauce.
Here we go.
Add this sweet, tangy, and spicy condiment to any dish. In a small saucepan, combine 1 teaspoon of minced ginger, 2 cloves of minced garlic, 1/4 cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sriracha sauce,
Okay.
1/2 cup of soy sauce. Heat the saucepan over medium heat and bring the mixture to a gentle simmer, stirring occasionally. Slowly whisk in the cornstarch slurry and stir consistently as the sauce will thicken to a smooth consistency. Once thickened, remove from the heat and let cool slightly.
Oh.
Use immediately or store in a sealed jar for later. Enjoy!
Love it.
Okay.
Unleash the fiery kick of dragon sauce.
How many times?
Unleash the fiery kick of dragon sauce.
That is a very good sauce, and it is sweet, it is spicy, and it makes the flavorful party on your taste buds on your tongue.
I'm gonna have to try.
Are
it
you
out.
still having issues with the chili sauce video, Mr. Kitts?
Berlin said you can't put that chili, that dragon sauce on her no more.
Yeah, she
And-
did think it was a UTI, but she went to her doctor and it was all clear. And he said, "Have you had any soy sauce in your cooch lately?" And she said yes.
Shit, get his ass off the screen.
All right, we're gonna try this one more time. And
Try this condiment of sweet chili sauce which is a delicious blend of tangy, sweet, and spicy flavors that you can put on any dish. Add 1/3 of a cup plus 2
Yeah.
tablespoons of sugar. I am using stevia instead of granulated sugar to make it a bit healthier. 1/3 cup of rice vinegar, 1/3 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of red chili pepper flakes. Use more or less according to taste. 1.5 teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, or you can substitute dry sherry. 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of minced ginger. Over low heat, bring to a boil, stirring often. Finally, add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch dissolved in 1 tablespoon of water. Then cook for about 1 minute more. The sauce will thicken more once cooled. Once cooled, pour into an airtight jar and store in the refrigerator for up to 1 week. Enjoy!
Yo, that's awesome.
And now what you
Yes,
do
sir.
really need to remember when utilizing these sauces, they will not last in your refrigerator like the processed ones because they do not have all of the preservatives in there. So you want to utilize them, within that week time frame for your meal and your leftovers of that meal.
Cool, but if you have all the extra ingredients to make it, you can make it whenever you want. So you don't really need, to preserve it the whole time, right? There you go.
Which is the beauty of being able to create whatever you want to eat in your own kitchen, the way you want to, when you want to. Very good comment, Mr. Catch the Canucks.
Thanks. I do what I can.
So once again, Mr. the Nomad, the Samo, nice to see you here, and the Catch the Canucks, and all of the Nomaniacs. I hope to see you again soon, and on the MF in the Kitchen right here on the Nomad Network, and then also at Shea Trips there at Sports Chicago Style. So until next time, bye.
Peace.
Later. Chef T.
So hopefully he give old girl all that shit, man. So ain't no problem.
Oh, she taking it all.
So
Ain't
ain't
gonna give it to her. She gonna take it. She look like she waiting.
All right, man. We got to this part of the show where, hey, man, you guys got a big board. Hey, decide which one of you guys want to. You guys know who you guys got on the boards. Which one of you guys want to go over? You don't have to go over your whole board. You ain't gotta do that at all. Just pick out.
Let's compare boards because I want to see how different mine is from Sam's.
All right,
that I'd like to see.
I'm gonna put yours up first since you're the one, the skeptic. Let me put yours up.
Well, he's skeptical.
I'm not skeptical.
He's trying to. He thinks.
Right.
I thought because you like yourself some Jihad Campbell. I thought you would have had more linebackers on there. I don't have a single. Oh, I do have. I got Nick Martin on mine. I have one linebacker on mine.
What?
You got one. Yep. So you only got Nick Martin. I would have put Nick Martin just because I know that's who the Bears also like.
Yeah. So I'll go
it's
through
not
mine.
much different.
I had a feeling.
I like both of y'all shits, man. To be honest with you,
I see a few players that I don't have on mine. I didn't put Tyleek Williams, but I do like Tyleek Williams a lot and Kenneth Grant a lot, and Omarion Hampton. I didn't put them just because of Nick Emmanwori too. Just because
on there? Really?
I did. I think I forgot. I think I just forgot to put him on there, but I just don't think that I'm just thinking about draft position or where I think that the Bears would take certain positions. So I just named the players that I thought that they would take in those positions. But I like all three of those guys a lot. And Gray Zabel, that's a guy I like a lot. I didn't think I put him on mine. I didn't put Travion Henderson on mine either.
Let me just pull yours up so y'all. We can go back and forth. When we pull
I didn't put Lathan Ransom or Holland Pierce either. I like Holland Pierce. And Savion Williams is another guy I like. But yeah, this is a nice one. Rashard Smith or Eli Cox. So those are the guys I know I didn't add on mine.
Yeah,
So
those are my late rounders. Those four guys there are definitely late round selections that I would not be mad if the Chicago Bears aimed at. I'm a little bit like, I doubt they'll look at Eli Cox just because he's rated so far outside of the top, 250. He's rated real deep, but I liked what he put on tape, man. I really did. And they also grabbed themselves a center, right? They grabbed themselves Drew Dalman, so I think there'll be a little bit less of a penchant to go and find a center out there.
Yeah, Savion Williams, really good one too.
Who you think is the top 2 players on this board, Samuel? 2, just 2.
The 2 he has up there, Abdul and
Jeanty.
Jeanty. Yep.
Okay, let me pull yours up just to, and we'll go back and forth just to see. And pull up Samuel's big board. There's Samuel's.
Marcus Ball.
Yeah.
I
like Marcus Ball.
You got to explain to him, Samuel, why you put stars by certain names.
Oh, stars are guys that I really like for different reasons. That I think we have a really good chance of landing the guys with the stars. The other guys, I just don't know if we'll have a chance to land them because I think they'll be drafted before we actually pick again in some instances. But some of these guys, some of them might not be, but Marcus Membou is a dude I really like, man. I think that he's one of the best pulling tackles who'll probably be moved to guards probably in this draft. And I love the way that he finishes blocks. He's got locks on the people really well. He's like a heat-seeking missile when he pulls, man. He just pulls so smoothly, so smooth and athletic, like a Cadillac pulling out of a garage. And he swoops around and smashes into people.
So, I like Marcus Ball too, man. I do as well. I kind of feel terrible I didn't put him on this list, on my list, but you've got sort of the other 2 guys.
Bully.
Say what now?
Marcus Ball, a goddamn bully, man. That motherfucker needed. He be assaulting people with them fucking hands.
See, he's got the other 3 guys that sort of fall just in front of Marcus Ball that I would be looking at, and that's Ariante Ursary, Jonas Savaianea, and Josh Connolly. Like those three guys will likely be like, I'll be damned if one of those 3 guys isn't a Chicago Bear. I'll just throw that out there right now. One of them will be in the second round. I'm pretty sure.
I'm with you. One of those 3 in the second round for sure. And a lot of people don't like Ariante Ursary, and I was lukewarm on him for a while. But man, just going back and watching him, I think he could be solid. Man, he's a big dude. I think he moves extremely well for a big guy.
Yeah,
he has some pretty good athleticism, so I think that he could definitely be a fit for left tackle. But the guy I really love, and I don't know, everybody knows this by now, is Josh Connolly Jr. Yeah. I love him, man. I think that dude is a little bit of a dancing bear, man. I love the leverage he plays with, consistent bend. I think he gets back extremely well. His kicks. The other thing about him is just the way he moves, his athleticism. His athleticism just really stands out to me about him.
Samuel, do he remind you, or is it just me? He give me a little bit of Laramie Tunsil's athleticism.
Laramie Tunsil, yep. Laramie Tunsil athleticism, yep. And he's a thicker dude, man. So a lot of people think that he should be moved to guard, but he has the athleticism, man, in the hands of a good offensive tackle. And he can throw his hands extremely well. One thing that I will say about him is he does need to be a little bit more consistent with his I'm sorry. What was I going to say? Him fighting the bull rush. His anchor a little bit. I don't know why I just couldn't think of my words right there. But his anchor, man, dropping his anchor a little bit more consistently. I have seen him get pushed back a little bit sometimes. He doesn't get pushed back as far as Braxton Jones does, but I have seen it happen on tape a little bit more than I would like. And I think a lot of those times it's just poor technique where he gets caught in his drop. And, he throws his hands a little bit late and guys get underneath him a little bit. and take him for a little ride for a little while. But I really like him a lot. Yeah, he definitely needs to add some weight, or some bulk. I wouldn't even say some weight. He just needs to add some strength, some playing strength. Another guy I really like on here, man, that doesn't get talked about a lot, man, is Kevin Winston Jr.
Okay.
Like, man, if you haven't watched Kevin Winston Jr., safety, Penn State, the guy had a partially torn ACL. So that's the only reason I think that we haven't heard his name a lot. But he's probably one of the best safeties in this draft. Actually, I think he is the best safety in this draft, to be honest, man. If he were healthy, I would take him over Nick Emenwari.
Oh, wow.
I think the dude can play high. He played a deep safety. He can play strong safety just as well. He'll come up and hit you. He's good in coverage and man-to-man. Makes plays on the ball extremely well. He can blitz. Like he just one of those do-it-all guys, man. Really good safety, man. I think that he just has a medical concern because of that partially torn ACL. That's probably, kind of going to push him down the board a little bit. So I did draft him in my second mock draft the last night, but I think I ended up getting him in the 4th or 5th round, maybe after a trade down. So it was like good value, and he was just too good to pass on.
Samuel, you got a couple of dudes on here that I showed some love to, but not as much as I know I needed to. Vernon Broughton out of Vernon Broughton is that's not Tennessee, is it?
That's Texas.
Texas. I knew it was an orange team. Him and Nick Nash. I think I showed Nick Nash a lot of love. Tackle.
Nick Nash. Yep, I didn't put Nick Nash on here, but that's another one I like. No, I did put Nick Nash on here. Nick Nash is actually the wide receiver.
Oh, dog! I had him confused with Nash Jones.
Yep.
Tackle out of he out of a smaller school. Damn, I messed that up. So my bad.
For people who are familiar with Nick Nash, man. Nick Nash was the Triple Crown winner as far as wide receivers go in the NCAA this past season. He led the league, the NCAA, in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Dude didn't get no love, man. Partially because he played for San Jose State, and he has great size, and he does have he's a little bit slower. He ran a 4.57. But you know who else ran a 4.57? There's a guy in LA that plays for the Rams who broke all the rookie records.
Puka
Nacua. Puka Nacua broke all the rookie records, running a 4.57. So I think he's just a really good route runner. He's strictly a slot receiver. He reminds me so much of Amon-Ra St. Brown that I just thought that he would be like the perfect slot receiver for the Bears. And he's just, like I said, he just hasn't received a lot of love, partially because he didn't do a lot at the scouting combine, because I think he had a little minor injury or whatever. But I think he's going to be a good pro. And I said the same thing last year about a guy, Jalen Coker. Last year was my sleeper, and he turned out to be a pretty damn good wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers last year.
I love. There's some players on here that I really, really love, and I'll come back and talk about them, man, because let me showcase some love here with this, because he's got some dudes on here too.
Before you do, I wanted to talk about Derek Harmon, man. That's one that I did not put on my list. I really like him by way of measurables. What did you think of him, Sam?
Oh, Derek Harmon is a dog, man. He reminds me of Jones. He reminds me of Jones for Kansas City.
Okay.
Chris Jones a little bit, man. He got a little bit of Chris Jones in him, man. He's a bully, the big guy. I think he was just a little bit inconsistent this year, man, as far as his tape goes. But I think he's really good and stout against the run. I think he's had some really good pass rush moves. He just seemed to get a little bit bored this season. a transfer from Michigan State. I think his Michigan State tape was extremely good if you went back to the year before and watched him play at Michigan State. But this year at Oregon, you know, he was a little bit up and down a little bit, but I think he has everything that you need to be a really good defensive tackle in this NFL.
All right. Yeah.
I think you got to think about, like, this ain't in exact order. I think Marcus Bowe, I just ended up putting him on top for whatever reason. But when you was writing this and you sent it to me, these are the guys that came off the top of your dome. So you can see how top heavy that is. Yeah. And there's some guys right there at the very top. There's worth conversation. You talking about Nick Scorton, James Pierce, Mike Green. You already talked about Josh Connolly. But Tyler Warren, Kelvin Banks, all them guys, that's worth a whole ass conversation, man. Because a lot of people see, like me, I see James Pierce as a one-trick pony. I do, but I love.
He is right now. He is.
But
I agree.
It's kind of the trick we sort of need, though.
Yeah, it's a damn good trick, dog.
It's a damn good trick, and it's a trick we don't really have a lot of on the squad right now. So I don't. That's why I lean towards him a little bit more than like a Mike Green or even a Michael Williams. But that's me.
And that's the change up that I think we need at defensive end. That's what I'm talking about. A guy like James Pierce would be perfect because on those passing downs, you can kick Odangbo to the inside, and then you got Sweat and James Pierce coming off of the edges, or you kick Sweat into the inside as well, and you got Booker.
Yeah,
you got Booker and Pierce coming off the edges, man, and that would be even.
I see a handful of wild cards on your list. There's two of them that come right to the top of my head. I want to see who you look at as the wild cards on your list.
Wild card, as far as what do you mean by wild card?
I give you a wild card right off the top of my head, and that is Jalen Conyers.
Jalen Conyers, like I could smell it coming.
Oh yeah. That dude is, I like him a lot, man. He reminds me a lot of Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
to be honest, he is like the same skill set. Yeah, same size. I think he was also an ex-quarterback. I think he can do all the same things, man. Just play for a smaller school. He has really good speed and size. It's a pretty damn good blocker. It's a willing blocker. I don't want to say he's a really good blocker, but he's a willing blocker. He can get better as a blocker. But as far as receiving and, you know, lining up in different positions out of the backfield or riding up out wide, I think he's able to do all of those things.
Another one is Dante Thornton, boy. That motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
Woo! Yep. I'm just saying.
Dante Thornton. I don't even think Dante Thornton will be available past the third round. The dude is, I think they say he has the fastest. He's ran the fastest 40 for a guy at 6'5" in the combine. I want to say ever, right? I want to say ever. Then he ran a 4.33 at 6'5". This dude.
Kid's the only one that watched the combine over here. He did it for us. I ain't watching.
Yeah, so that dude, he ran a 4.33 at 6'5", and it says the fastest. And they compare him a lot to Debo, but I don't see the Debo because he doesn't have that Debo size.
Yeah, he
that
doesn't have
stature, at all. Not at all. But I think that he's going to be a really good deep threat for any team in this league. And he has some good route running ability as well. So I like him a lot.
One more guy, Omar Norman Lott. Like when we start talking about the 3 techs in this draft, and the guys can really get after it from the inside and just really create havoc. Like I started watching, it was number 21. I think his name is Omarion Thomas from Tennessee. And Tennessee, people don't know, man, Tennessee they had a thoroughbred defensive front, man. They had dudes, and in rotation they had.
Rotating them, rotating.
They had some studs, and I was there looking at Omarion Thomas and couldn't stop looking at fucking Omar Norman Lott. This dude is a problem. And he's been here for a 30 visit. You know,
Yep.
I mean, this dude is a straight wild card in this draft. I think he's gonna go higher than people think.
Yeah, he's a damn good pass rusher at a 3 tech position. I think he has all the moves already. He reminds me a lot of Akeem Hicks a little bit, man. When he's just getting there, he's just creating pressure instantly on every snap. As far as pass rushing down goes, he can be a little bit stouter against the run and taking on double teams. But I mean, for what he is right now, I think man, he could be dominant on like third downs and putting him in those obvious passing situations until he gets his weight up and is able to anchor a little bit better against the run. But he's going to be a really good one.
Poles does like those volunteers, man. You can't any talent evaluator and scout worth they salt was spending a lot of time. If you're looking for a defensive, especially trench help from the defensive front, you had better been spending a lot of time down in Tennessee. They got some dogs down there.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. Then Tennessee has a good program, man. Really good football program. I love Dylan Sampson, man. A lot of people were sleeping on Dylan Sampson, the running back in Tennessee. Like that dude, man, I think he's going to be a star in the NFL to me. I think he has speed, he has power, vision, really good vision. He has the ability to run inside and outside. I think he's one of the sleeper running backs in this draft that people don't talk about a lot, but he has really good speed, man. And I think he's just a workhorse back. He's a little bit smaller, but he's a guy that's going to be on the field all 3 downs.
Damn, you got some dudes on here, man. I could not, in my right mind, could not step on. Y'all basically got everything that I was gonna do. It might have been a couple of players here and there that I don't know, but y'all covered it. So there was no need for me to do one, man. Y'all let's get to kids. We'll come back to yours, Samo, because it's not that far off from yours, but kids has got y'all, both of y'all like Ariante Ursary. I don't dislike him. I think that guy's gonna end up. I think his size and just sheer girth turns a lot of people on, but I got a feeling that guy's gonna have a problem with the secondary move of the quicker, twitchier edge rushers. That's what I'm worried about with him. That's the only thing I worry about.
Yep, we've seen it. That's on film. He's had problems with that secondary inside move sometimes, but I think that can be corrected with coaching. You know, not getting too far over your heels and throwing your hands a little bit earlier, man. Locking on the guys before they can even get to that move. So I think he could be a sleeper in this draft. He could turn out to be one of the best tackles in this draft, to be honest. I think he needs a little bit of work. He has the size. Maybe he should drop a little bit of weight.
I was just gonna say that, Samuel. I think that's probably it. Maybe he drop a couple of pounds. Maybe I don't know, man. But it's like almost like if you was talking to him, if you was walking up to Ariante Ursary, how if you asked him, what weight do you feel at your best? Like I think he weighs in at about on somewhere around 330, 335, right?
Yep, right.
Somewhere in the neighborhood. And you know, maybe that's what Minnesota asked him to play at, to ask him where he's more comfortable. Because on this, when you get to this next level, it's going to be different, man. Like everybody's an all-star now, you know. So that's the only. If it wasn't that, you know, he could turn into a great tackle. It's that I just want to see how that takes. You know, I want to see how that takes shape. How wherever he goes, what are they going to ask him to do? They're going to ask him to lose weight and stay at tackle, or they're going to ask him to maintain the weight and go into guard? That's what I wonder.
These are very sound questions. I like both of these guys, though. As far as Ursary and Savaian are right beside him, like I say, I'll be surprised if those guys aren't.
I think Jones is the best all-around offensive lineman in this class.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, and he's a guy that can probably play every position on the offensive line too. I know, like we just said about our offensive guard, what's his name? I can't. Joe Tooney
Mhm.
playing left, moving out to left tackle temporarily. I think it was that should have just been a temporary move. I think Jonah has that same ability to, get you out of 3 or 4 games if you need to. Need him. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Samuel.
No, I'm just saying if you need him to, then yeah, he can play some left tackle. I know that he can play the right side, both tackles and guard extremely well. And I'm pretty sure he could probably play some center too. Like that dude is he's stout too, man. And it's just something about Samoan players that I have a love for, that work ethic, and those dudes are just they're gonna work their ass off, man, and they're gonna show out.
Did you see me? I comped him to Penei Sewell and didn't feel bad. I didn't have no fucking second guessing about it either. I was like, this is exactly what Penei Sewell is. You know what I mean? Just sheer power. I know some Polynesian brothers, man. Dude, them motherfuckers just got big bones. They're just naturally powerful, man. He's got the girth. And a lot of people think, and I don't know what you saw on film, Samo, it can't be that much different than what I saw. I just kept on saying to myself, okay, I'm hearing what everybody else is saying about him. Okay, he's going to be a guard. They just look at his body type and just project him in as a guard. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, okay, I'm watching you play tackle. I'm watching you flip from one side to the other during a game, going from left tackle to right tackle to left tackle, whatever it is. Okay, prove to me that you can't play tackle. And all that dude kept doing was proving to me that he's a goddamn tackle. That's all he kept doing. Now will he end up on somebody's team and playing guard? Very likely. Yeah. Very likely. But can that guy play tackle? There ain't nothing I saw on tape. It's just almost like everybody talking about, Will Campbell, his arms are too short. I didn't see that shit on tape. I didn't see it be an inhibitor when I was watching him play against the best competition. The same thing with Jonas Avenea. Okay, just because he looks like a guard, you're just going to automatically deem the guy a guard? No, I think the guy can play tackle with the best of them. I really do.
Yeah, you're right. And he's not even the guy I've been talking about as a tackle either. I should probably think about him more as a tackle. But I don't think he makes it out of the first round, to be honest, man. I don't think we're going to have a shot at him. I think he's just too good.
Jonah?
He's too versatile. Yeah, man, he's too good and too versatile, man. I think somebody down at the end of the draft, the rich are going to get richer. It's going to either be the Chiefs, the Eagles, the damn Ravens. One of those teams are going to pick this dude up, and he's going to be a star for them for the next 10 years. Huh?
He's been here for a 30.
Yep, I know it. So we're hoping that hopefully he falls to the second, but if he does fall to the second, I don't think he'll make it to 39, man. That dude he's too good. He's just wait.
They know he's that good, or they wouldn't have wasted a 30 visit. I think there's a good, strong chance that the Bears end up with this guy. And here's my reasoning for it. I think there's two trains of thoughts in Hallis Hall right now. There's that. I think Ryan Poles has he's a jackpot. He's going for the jackpot. And I think Ben Johnson is thinking long term. He knows that Joe Tooney, we're only going to get this guy maybe for another year or two. Maybe. You might get this guy on a 2-year contract on extension. I do think they're going to extend him, and probably not long after the draft. I think they'll extend him for a couple of years, which is, when they do those contracts up, it's basically good for a year and you got a balloon out, right? That's how they do those kind of contracts. And I know they know their future is right now, and they have to get his replacement. Why not right now? Make sure that you got the best qualified person, whether you see him as a guard, whether you see him as a tackle. That guy, I'm telling you, I'm overconfident about Jonas Avenea.
Yeah,
at playing any role.
Me too. I wouldn't be mad taking him at 10, man. I wouldn't. If the Bears were gonna, now that I think about it, he's another guy that I think could play at least right tackle, and then we could move Darnell Wright over to left tackle. He's another guy I'd be willing to do that for, or do that.
I'm
Make
surprised.
that move with.
I'm surprised Kid's this quiet when we talking about this shit. He's never this quiet when we talking about this. And you muted, man. That's why can't nobody hear you.
That would explain a lot. I'm here commenting the whole time, to be frank with you. That's exactly why I'm that quiet. But yeah, man. I like these two guys as far as the offensive side of the football is concerned. I don't really want anybody to move. I want the kid who was drafted where he was to stay where he was. That's just me. But I think these are two viable guys that can play the left without having to move them. I also like Holling Pierce, man. I like the way he moves. I like his measurables. You know, I don't mind him again if it's a situation where they go running back DTDE, right? That's sort of my thoughts in that situation. There's also, who else do I want to talk about here? I like Brashard Smith late. Did you have Brashard Smith on your list? No, I think you had.
I didn't put Brashard Smith. Yeah, I really like Brashard Smith. He's a stud running back for sure.
Yeah, man. I like Brashard, man. Brashard's fast as all hell. You know, good lateral movement too, man. I like the way that he runs the ball. Who else here kind of was just?
I remember when somebody asked me, "Hey, we need to go find the next goddamn Jahmyr Gibbs." I'm like, I was looking at somebody, and that next week we did the show, and I was just like, and I've said this 1,000 times. This guy is he's a Swiss Army knife, man. There's just nothing you can't do with him offensively. You know what I mean? Slot, play him out. You can split him out and play him receiver. He's a weapon. If you want to weaponize your offense with a running back that plays running back primarily, this is the kind of guy you target, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what he does.
Yeah, he reminds me a little bit of Marshall Faulk, to be honest with you.
Damn.
He doesn't have the same size, but he's one of those guys who just do everything that we saw Marshall Faulk do.
I know what you mean. I would, just because it's big shoes to fill, you know what I mean? I'd hate to make that comp, but the comp is out there now, and it's a pretty valid comp. It's a pretty valid comp. He can survive in the pass game, get him out in space. He could be a dangerous human being, and I could be saying this about a lot of the guys. Like you had a bunch of running backs on your list. For me, out of all these guys, one of the guys that really jumped out for me initially because we scouted him the year before was Travion Henderson. And if it ain't Ashton Jeanty, y'all, and somehow Marion Hampton isn't on the docket either, these two guys from Ohio State, I think they'll fit the bill just fine. But my hopes is that if that's how things shake out, Ryan Poles will have traded back a couple of times and acquired some decent additional capital to really, solidify this team and fill all the holes that he needs to fill this offseason. But that's about the only other guy we really didn't talk about here on my list that's on your list is Tyleek, man. Everybody loves Kenneth Grant. I like Kenneth Grant too. Don't get me wrong. But I like Tyleek, man. I think Tyleek Williams is fantastic. So, my problem is everybody's talking so much about Mason Graham. And I'm like, these two guys, where they're stationed, where you could get these two guys in this draft, I don't really have to worry about no Mason Graham. Mason Graham's good and all that, but these two guys are damn good too. I would not be complaining about getting my hands on either one of them. I
want to come back to Tyleek, but either one of y'all can answer White Ghost's question, man. He says if Tyler Warren and Jonah, he's talking about Jonas Alvenaire and Henderson was our first three picks with any one of y'all.
Oh, shit, that's a great draft. That's a great top three. Yeah. I struggle between Henderson and Judkins of which one I like more. The only reason I've been drafting Judkins is because he's more of a hammer than Henderson is, and we already have Swift. So that's the only reason why why I pick him ahead of Henderson. But Henderson I think he's the best comp to Gibbs, other than and then Rashard Smith. Like, I think he has the size and the speed and the movement. Yeah.
So there's so many. All right, let me just ask you guys directly, and it feels like I'm just talking. I ain't spent no time with Samuel in so long. It feels like I'm just asking you this stuff directly. But Trips is here and kids. I want to ask all y'all. Outside of Abdul Carter, who do you think is the best edge rusher that fits this team on this? Even if it's not on this list.
There's two. Oh, okay. I was like, did I forget James Pierce Jr.? I didn't. You just forgot to put the word junior. I'll blame that on you. For me, it's a toss-up between the two guys I have here, which is Landon Jackson and James Pierce. I think those are the two guys who fit this team the best. Landon Jackson is just a prototypical defensive end. Like, he just is. He has everything you need in that particular position. But given what me and Samuel were just saying a little while ago, if you want to change up, the change up is James Pierce. Now you kind of have two different packages that you could lean on at the edge, right? So that's exactly why those two guys are on my list.
Yep. And I really like James Pierce a lot. As far as I would have picked James Pierce. I think James Pierce is the second best, probably pure pass rusher on him in the draft. Just pure pass rusher.
Not pure pass rusher. You might not get your edge set, but
you're not getting your edge set. You're not going to get your edge set. But as far as hair on fire, like pass rusher was coming and crashing, and that's what we need too. I mean, he's going to get stronger, man. He's going to be able to support in the run game at some point in his career, just not this year probably as much. So I wouldn't put him out there. But as far as, getting pressure immediately off the edge and moving the quarterback off his mark, James Pierce is that dude. And the other guy, I would say, for me, I love Nick Scordon. I really love Nick Scordon a lot, man. I think Nick Scordon is I think he has a lot of upside. He's another dude I think is really bendy. He can set the edge extremely well in the run game. He gets so much pressure, man, from his position. They were lining him up all over. He was creating plays for other guys last year. I think he missed a lot of tackles, a lot of sacks last year, man, too. And, he played at Purdue the year before that and had 10 sacks, but last year didn't have as many. I think he ended up with six or something, 6 or 7. But he didn't also have the legitimate threat on the other side of him. I know a lot of people like Shamar Stewart, but I don't think that he was that legitimate threat on the other side and didn't garner the attention that Nick Scordon did last season. And he was still able to get the pressure. So him, and I see somebody in the chat mention Mike Green. We can't leave him out either. We both have him on our list.
There's a couple of guys that didn't get mentioned. Like Paul Rodriguez is talking about Kyle Kennard. I think that's one of the couple of guys I saw give Will Campbell work. Kyle Kennard gave him work, but Campbell gave it ass right back to his ass. Ashton Gelody might be as an edge rusher. I think everybody knows who Landon Jackson is now. I was slapping the table hard for him, Landon Jackson, all off season, and then he finally got to the combine and everybody saw it. I guess the physical traits, but I saw it on film. Ashton Gelody from Louisville. I've been watching him for 2 years, Sam. Yeah, that dude is a beast. I mean, when we're talking about Dennis Allen and the kind of traits that I know that Dennis Allen looks for his defense, he wants guys that can be multiple along that front. Somebody that can line up on the edge and get pressure. Somebody that can line up on the inside and he loses no value by either one of those positions. He is absolutely a Dennis. And he's nasty. Ashton Gelody is there's probably a bucket full of about 12 to 15 guys that I'm just like, man, I'll beat up somebody's grandma to get him on this team. Like he's one of them kind of guys.
Got the high motor dude, man. That dude's motor he just doesn't quit. Either on the play, man. He's continuously moving and making moves and finding his way to the play every time. So yeah, I definitely like him a lot.
So I'm just asking this, Sam, because like, you know what I mean? I haven't asked you. What do you think of Braden Swinson?
Braden Swinson, another big dude, power rusher to me. I think he's good. He's gonna be a late round guy. I like him.
Okay. He's just one of them cats I did not give him much of the time of day, man, and I figured I would ask.
Just another power rusher, man. He's still not one of those guys. Like I think he's what we already have. That's why I didn't spend. Yeah,
I think he's moving up. All the, the
but he is
the analyst draft boards and shit like that. And I think that's getting them in conversations. I didn't think there was nothing a whole lot special about the guy, to be honest with you. But he's a certain kind of edge rusher, man.
Yep. He has potential, a lot of potential.
All right, Samo. Y'all, you guys want to talk about any more of these? Anybody else on these lists? Samo, we got to get one quick last one in before we get up out of here. We got to get a quick mock draft in. If you down for it, but if you got to go, man, don't let me hold you.
We'll make it quick. Elijah Arroyo, man. I don't know if you guys follow him a lot on here.
Tough.
Another guy with a medical concern, but extremely athletic. He's also a weapon as a tight end down there in Miami, man. This dude is freakish athleticism. Willing blocker. And just a dog, man. There's no covering him man to man. He'll go up and get it. He's strong, physical. Like, dude, like he's different. He reminds me a lot of a little bit of Aaron Hernandez, to be honest. A little bit of Aaron Hernandez in him.
You've been killing the game.
Oh.
Take my wife, please.
All right, Kez, you wanna fire before we get out of here? Anything else you want to go over? Huh?
I said, I already got it fired up.
All right, let's do it, Samo. Dog, this we got one more. I got a feeling we're gonna end up doing another one before the actual draft because it's gonna be a lot of time and lot of air. We're gonna probably end up talking about these goddamn lists, but it's all up to you, man. You do your thing, man.
Yeah, I hope we end up with the players from our two lists, man. If we end up with any of the players from our two lists, I think we're in good shape.
Dog, y'all got it. Y'all got it right. Y'all got it right. Ashton
Murderer.
Damian Martinez should have been in that motherfucker, but that's me.
Damian Martinez. I like Damian Martinez too.
I need a thug at running back, man. We need some Chicago style up in this bitch.
Now, if we drafted what's his name? Travion Henderson and Martinez, like that's a good combo to me. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect combo.
Like, now that's crazy.
All right. I'll fire it up.
Take your trade back. I know you want it.
We was promised a haul, damn it.
Well,
I like it.
So right off the bat, we got 14 and 45 from Indianapolis as a trade offer. 20, 51, and 122 from Denver. 22, 55, and a second rounder from the Chargers. And on the board right there in front of our very eyes is Ashton Jeanty, Tyler Warren, Jalon Walker, Shamar Stewart, Kelvin Banks Jr., Matthew Golden, Mike Green, Colston Loveland, Derek Harmon, Jahdae Barron, and Malachi Stark. So that's what your next few selections look like. Let's just see who went off the board and where.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Before you do that, shuffle me and Trips so Trips can get in the scene.
Okay.
There you go.
So Cam Ward went first to Tennessee. Abdul Carter went to the Browns. Travis Hunter went to the New York Giants. Will Campbell, like, this might as well be a freaking lock. I'll just say that now. I've been saying it for a minute. I don't see him going any further than this team, and I think they desperately need him. Match made in heaven in that situation. Will Johnson, cornerback to Jacksonville, and that's what I was saying. It's either a cornerback to Jacksonville or it should be an offensive tackle. That makes sense. This isn't crazy. Defensive tackle Mason Graham, because now he's sort of fallen to the Raiders. Do they need that desperately? I still say they should be looking at a wide receiver, but makes a little bit more sense. Shedeur Sanders goes to the Jets. I'm surprised by that a little bit. Poor Justin. You know what I mean? That's just kicking the shins. Armand Membou, that makes a lot of sense. You want to protect the new young quarterback, make sure that Bryce Young stays on his feet.
I forgot to mention, I think Shedeur Sanders is the wild card for what everything happens in this draft. Whether he goes early, if he doesn't go in the first 3 or 4 picks, I think all kind of craziness happens.
First 3 or 4?
Yeah.
You think Shedeur Sanders is going up and around here?
I don't think he gets out of New York.
If he gets 3 or 6, I can see him going 3, 6, 9.
I don't think the Giants can afford to pass him up.
Yeah,
no, they can because they have 2 quarterbacks.
Dog, they got a coach and a GM that's fighting for their goddamn life, man. They got to make something happen now.
I don't.
You think neither one of them two dudes are gonna be there if they have a bad season?
I hear you, but they have something in place that they could They have something in place that they can work with that, in my opinion, is an upgrade from what they had the season before.
They got veterans there, which is good. And that's if something happens, if Shedeur is not able, they've set the situation up for them to have backup. So they got people that know how to play the game and know how to play the game with the game speed. But I think the idea is to get that quarterback. I think people are just overthinking this thing. I think they want Shedeur Sanders.
I wish I could really say that you're wrong here, but there are for everything that you just said about New York can be said about the Cleveland Browns. Right? Like they don't have a quarterback at all. I don't know. Tell me who's throwing the rock in Cleveland. Somebody please let me know, because my guess is PJ Walker, and I might be wrong.
All right.
I think both teams don't want to draft Shedeur at 2, or 2 or 3. They want him, but they won't draft him at 2 or 3 because you got Abdul Carter and you have Travis Hunter sitting there. But I think both teams will be willing to try to trade up and back into the draft to try to get him if they could.
Before we move on and you make your pick, Samo, real quick, going around the horn, yes or no? Shedeur Sanders, odds of being a bust, high or low?
Very low.
What did you say?
Odds that Shedeur Sanders is a bust.
Very low. I think he's so pro ready it ain't funny.
Okay, kids.
I think his odds of being a bust is very high.
Yeah, I think it might be high too. It might be high. It just because it could be high. It could be high. I think it's even, man, to be honest, man. I don't know what to think about Shedeur. I like him. I think he could be a good quarterback.
Here's my thing.
Have you guys watched? Do you guys think, all right, there's a such thing as primetime player when it comes to a quarterback? And I think both the top 2 quarterbacks in this class are PT peers. When it comes down to it, when you need, I seen Shedeur go 90 yards when he had to have it.
I see him do a lot when he had to have it too. And that's what makes me think like he has the heart, just the arm, man. I just want to see him get better. But if Tom Brady could do it, then I think Shedeur is like a pocket quarterback. He's a Tom Brady. He's a Ben Roethlisberger who holds the ball a little bit too long sometimes. Like, he's in the mold of those guys, man. He's not the athletic quarterback that we're seeing take over the league right now. But I think that, man, in the right situation, Shedeur could shine. But if he's put in a situation where it has to be all on him, I think that's where the bust comes in.
that's kind of where these lower end teams are. These quarterback desperate teams are sort of in that situation. If he somehow winds up in Pittsburgh, I think that might work out well for him. It's got a lot more to do, in my opinion, with where he lands than his overall talent or skill set. My simple issue is just this. You know, he's Deion's kid, and he has a lot of Deion's mentality and attitude.
Circle that part, goddamn it.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's got the talent. I'm just not sure if that attitude, that level of attitude, is well served at the quarterback position. At the wide receiver position, absolutely. At the cornerback position, absolutely. I'm just not sure.
I think it serves him even better at quarterback, bro.
It could. You might. Like
he's got the ball in his hand constantly.
I know what you're trying to say, but there's a little bit of a difference.
It's a thin line with him between confident and cocky.
And
that's
cockiness,
where you
man.
at right now. Right, where you at with it right now. To me, like there is a thin line. He's more on the cocky side right now, and I think he has to be.
You got Caleb Williams, bro.
Yeah.
I'm saying, though, we got Caleb Williams. It's a little bit of that you wish Justin Fields had, right?
Exactly. We wish he had a little bit more of it. Yeah. A little bit more confidence. I'm not gonna be mad at him for being confident, man. Like I said, but I really feel like he has to land in the right situation, or like he couldn't land with the Bears in the Justin Fields type situation. Like he wouldn't have thrived with us. He wouldn't have thrived with us just like Justin didn't.
And I have a feeling that's the view of him from some of these teams here, like the New Yorks and Cleveland's of the world. Like Cleveland has no business not selecting a quarterback in this draft. So like I'll just put this out there too. Jalen Milroe to the Cleveland Browns, round 2. I'll just put that out there now.
Maybe round 1.
Let me put something else out there. Let me put something else out there that I don't know. Like Shador and them got so many videos out. Deion Jr. kind of does his social media, and he got a lot of content out there. Like I saw one. If I could point it out, I'll probably pull it up. But I saw one video where somebody was walking around with him, asking him questions, and they was talking to him and asking him about his accuracy. They were just like, this motherfucker is deadly ass accurate. I mean, he is accurate.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what's up with that? And he basically said, and when I heard him say this, I was convinced. He said, I can't afford to not be accurate. He said, you know whose son I am? Number one, you know who's put their hands on me? Number two, that's Tom Brady. He said, I have to be accurate. I can't afford not to be accurate. That and his pocket presence, poise, all that shit in his big, the PTP part about it. That to me, in a nutshell, is everything you want from a quarterback. Everything.
Right.
And so, you know, that part to me, I think he's a can't miss pick. It's just, I think people just overthinking it in the media, in this space right here, other than the people that's actually sitting there looking at the tape and just like, oh no, stop overthinking this, pick this motherfucker. That's what I think needs to be going on inside those buildings. But who knows, man? I do think, thank you, Trips, for throwing a bomb in here. Samo trying to pick this draft and get up out of here.
Man, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a damn good question. And like I said, I'm just torn on him, man. Like I said, I think he could be really good. I've seen greatness from him. I see greatness in him. I just don't know if I don't want him to go into a bad situation and, you know.
Yeah, neither does his dad, man. So I'm right there with you. But I guess maybe we'll get back to this draft here. So a couple of trade offers available to you. You've got Jeanty and Warren and the likes on the board. What do you want to do, Sam?
We're going to get the people what they want, man. Go ahead and take Ashton Jeanty.
There it is. Oh. We gotta do the sexy dance here. Hold on a second. Ashton, Jeanty, you are a Chicago Bear. All right, we're at pick.
Oh, his ass was gonna actually get up and try to dance.
I almost did. I almost
take
did.
your ass off the screen, man. Just so.
I definitely would have gotten one of these though. Where is it?
You know, do the jeanty dance.
Oh man, I can't find it. Anyways, all right. So on 39, you'll have one offer. You're giving up 240 as well to move back 20 spots and get Carolina's second rounder. I think that's a terrible trade, but I'll leave
terrible. We're gonna make a pick right here.
All right.
Let's see who we got at
falling quite a bit. Trey Amos is falling. Josh Connolly Jr. is available. There's my boy Tyleek. Oh, just a look. Oh, Kenneth Grant gone. Siobhan Ravel, Maxwell Hairston. What are you thinking of, man? You want me to
just look and see what edge rushers are there? It looks like my guy's gone already. Yep, he is. Nick Gordon went in the first round. He went early
at 35. You're right.
I'm taking Josh Connerly, man.
All right.
I'm taking it.
There you go, Paul. There you go, Paul.
Let's see if he can get a good trade.
You are a Chicago Bear. Here's a couple of trade offers. So 41 and 148 for 68.
Hold on. You about to rush right past all that conviction Samo just made that pick with.
What are you talking about?
That's called a motherfucker that been in the trenches doing his homework. He know what he's looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh Connerly got to be that dude, man.
No hesitation.
Boom, pulled the trigger one time. So 41 and 148 for pick 68 and 108. Move back 20, 27, and you come up 30, 40 positions. I would dodge this too. Or you move back 15, pick 56 and a second. I don't like either one of these trades either. So I'm with you.
Running backs. Let's see what running backs are there.
We just picked a running back.
Oh, yeah, we got our running back. I mean, tight end. Let me see what tight end is there real quick.
Your guy Mason's there. Harold Fannon's there.
You know, realistically, this is where I think the trade is going to happen with us between 39 and 41.
That's what I think, too.
Unless it's that bad. We might trade this. I might trade that 72. Go to edge again. Or defensive tackle. Let's see what we have. We got Princely.
JT and Princely.
I like Princely.
These are the two guys that coming in, we really looked at last year. And I thought that they would be higher.
We talked about them a lot last year,
yeah, man. And somehow they're way back here and nobody cares. It's just not the same kind of love.
That's what happens, man. Go to the defensive tackle real quick. Let's see who's there.
DT. Here we go.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff. Man, we taking
just went. They heard us talking about.
Just took your guy. Yep.
They heard us talking about Tyleek, man.
I'm gonna take Princely, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna get a guy like that got some bend around the edge.
All right.
Take Princely. Now we got to get a good trade offer for 72 right here.
You are a Chicago Bear. Let's see if they throw us anything decent. That's actually not bad at all. Real tough.
98 and 116. Man, I got to take it. I need that extra pick. We need that extra pick. Let's take it.
There you go. All right, so now you're picking at 90, 98. I'll go back to all three. There's Omar Norman Lott. Just take a look at your picks. You got a running back, an offensive tackle, and an edge rusher.
Take your Omar, man. Look at safety first. Look at safety. Look at safety.
Say Lathan Ransom's right underneath you, man.
Let's see who else is there at safety, though. Let's see what other safeties I got later.
Barry Bowman, Jonas Sanker's nice too. Malachi Moore.
I'm gonna end up with Malachi Moore. I'm gonna end up with Malachi. I'm fine with that, man. Let me see. I want Lathan or do I want go back to the defensive tackles? Let me see who else is there.
CJ West, Deion Walker.
Where is Broughton? Broughton is
Who? Broughton?
Vernon Broughton. Yeah, he's down there. They got him way down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be fine with Broughton. Or do I want to go ahead and get that? No, man, I'm taking Omar, man. He's just too good, man. And pairing him with Brady Jackson, let him learn from him. Yeah, I think he's too good to pass up on.
All right. Omar?
Omar Norman, dog. Omar.
Omar Norman Lott, you are a Chicago Bear.
All right, can I see what he did so far? I had to pop up for a second.
You can indeed. Oh, are you going to do this here? Let me just look at something for you real quick. See, yeah, they were listening to us talk, man. This damn.
They took him.
What was that song that Omar was whistling before he rolled up and robbed fools on the wire? What was that song?
Dang, I ain't watched that shit.
It wasn't Itsy Bitsy Spider. It was
I ain't
what was
watched.
that song?
You got the wrong one. I ain't watching.
I didn't do the wire either, bro.
Oh, y'all didn't see the wire?
Sure, I don't remember. I don't
No,
remember
no,
what
it's
song
too-
he was listening.
It's too real, man. It remind me of
Tried it a couple of times, man, but
It was
That was the shit.
This Pig Stands Alone. Three Blind Mice.
He said, "Whistle while you work."
No, it was a kid's song.
he says whistle while you work.
No, it was like, and the cheese stands alone. Is
The
that what
cheese stands alone. That's what it was.
That's why you work?
Yep.
Okay.
That is it.
All right, yeah, right on. Yeah, you said Omar. I thought the wire, you know what I mean? Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
Scroll back up on all picks. Let me see what I missed.
This is you. This
Like
is where
I said,
you
we
at the
missed.
top. You got David Walker, Rashad Tootin, Noel Williams, CJ
How many
West.
picks you got left?
He's got a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 picks left. Selected thus far: Ashton Jeanty, Josh Conley Jr., Princely, and Omar Norman Lott.
Let's look at tight end and safety, man. Let me see that pick. That's
You got a
129.
trade offer.
Samuel, you talking about getting guys that's the same thing as everybody else? Ain't Princely like everybody else on the edge rushers?
No, he's more of a bender. He got speed off the edge.
He's being a little bit. I like Austin Booker too, man.
You like who? Austin Booker?
I mean, I'm looking at Princely and I'm just like, I feel good with Austin Booker.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
another type.
Yeah, that's
He's
a
just
nice
not
trade
that
off.
straight power push
Yeah.
that we've been seeing. What's that? 129 or 120?
129 and 176 for 116.
Hey, Levante
Not
said take a
terrible.
tight end or a receiver.
Man, go
let me
ahead and
see
take that
who's
trade.
available at tight end, receiver, and
Man, you better go and take that trade. Stop tripping.
yeah, I think I'm gonna take it. I just want to see who I'm gonna end up with. Scroll down. I'm gonna end up with Conyers at tight end, so I'm fine with that.
He's your boy Nick Nash, but real talk, if you take this
Nope,
trade,
I won't. Now, before I get Nick Nash, I'm gonna take. I really like Felton a lot, and I like Thornton a lot. So I like both of them. So I might go ahead and trade them. What other position? Safety. Look at safety.
Who do you think is the most complete receiver between Ty Felton and Dante Thornton?
Felton.
Yeah.
Most complete. Yeah. Out of the two, yeah, Felton is nice, man.
so you still got
Fresh.
Malachi Moore a little bit later on, and Keaton Crawford a little bit later on. Both are solid.
Take the trade. Let's take the trade and see what we end up with.
Smitty Q talking about Q Robinson as the edge he wants at number 148.
Go to where we got on the board? Where are we at?
Boom. CJ West, defensive tackle. There's your boy Damian Martinez. Dante Thornton is still available. Dylan Sampson. Anthony Belton's a nice tackle, too. You got a tackle.
Ain't nobody gonna listen to me about Damian Martinez until he trucking the league.
We solid there at running back for right now. Let's go ahead and take that's the top receiver. Let me see.
top receiver, I believe, is Thornton.
Thornton. Let's take Thornton, man. Speed kills.
All
That
right.
combination of size and speed, you can't pass on that, man. Let's go ahead and take Thornton.
Right on. Dante Thornton, you are a Chicago Bear.
Hey,
Let's
Trip,
hope we still can land more right here.
Trip, you know any of these guys on
See
the
if we got
board?
Malachi Moore.
Trip,
What?
you know any of these guys on the board?
Do I know him?
You familiar with them?
I mean, I've still recognized some of the names. Yeah.
Okay.
So move back 2, pick up an extra pick. Up to you.
Depends on whether Malachi Moore is there, man. Let's see if Malachi Moore. We still need that safety.
I think Mally's gone now. Look at that.
I'd have done you a board, but I know you'd have been like, oh, no, fuck that.
Dang.
He's gone. He went 2 picks before you.
2 picks. Dang.
Oh damn.
Let's see who we're gonna take as safety later.
Where's the value though, man? Like where are we at in the
Ashton Castro, but later.
Yeah, like Sebastian Castro is the only guy I really like from that list.
Ooh, safety is nice here.
You like RJ?
RJ Mick out of the safeties? No,
We got to go ahead and take the trade.
Keaton Crawford is the best one in this bunch.
Take the trade.
That's right. We got to take the trade, yeah, because we missed our guy. So we got to take the trade. I forgot about that. It's only 2 picks. Oh,
So,
Q Robinson just went. Who someone just talked about Q Robinson, Smitty.
Yeah.
And yep, Smitty Q just said.
Damn, Smitty.
He just went. Go to our picks. Go to our picks. What don't we have? We need a tight end, a safety.
Danny Stutzman is always there around.
Tight end, safety, running back.
Danny, yeah, I like Danny Stutzman, man. Let's take Danny.
Take Danny, linebacker.
Yeah,
Let me
take
say, I'm just saying that he's always there when I go do this shit. And I'm just like, it's hard to pass that motherfucker up.
Yeah, take Danny right here, man.
All right.
That's a good value.
Danny Stutzman, you're a Chicago Bear.
Did we do Danny last year? I think we did Danny last year too, didn't we?
I think we did actually when we were actually looking at linebackers, but
He should have been last year.
This time around, I did not look.
All right, let's look at now we gotta take our tight end right here, man, because we might not be available later. Go ahead and get Conyers. I'm not gonna risk it. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk that. We gotta have him.
Okay. Jalen Conyers, you are a Chicago Bear.
What you do in the trenches on offense so far?
We're just one man guy so far, so that's where I'm going next. I'm looking at the trenches and safety.
Some dudes there. It's damn near.
Yep, that's what right there. Oregon State.
At this point, Samuel, I feel like looking at your kids, don't it?
Yep, I want the Oregon State guy. Our assistant offensive line coach, Coach him. So
he's still there, Levante.
Who did you say? Holland Pierce still there? Where?
Oh, yeah.
He's still there. I thought I saw. What are you looking at? Guard? You looking at tackle?
No, Holland Pierce is long gone, man.
Yeah, he's been gone.
Unless he's listed as a guard, which I don't believe he is.
I thought
he's
I
been
saw.
gone.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he went high.
I didn't see him go. Where'd he go to? Holland Pierce is another slept on motherfucker. To be honest with you.
That's why I say I knew he was gone.
Damn, he got into.
We took a tackle.
You went to Cleveland at
He
pick.
off in the 6th. That's
Did
about
I
right.
pick after? Yeah, the 6th we didn't have a pick. We had a pick in the 6th. Yeah,
No.
we did.
Oh, maybe
All
you
right.
did with all the trades. That's
Then
right.
I picked up one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I wish I'd have looked at it. Or Cooper Mays. What was that, Cooper Mays?
Any thoughts on these
Check
guys?
safety.
Yeah, we gotta look at safety, man.
You're a bit close to Sebastian Castro.
Sebastian Castro, man. Yeah, we gotta go ahead and take Sebastian Castro,
Hit, man.
the heavy hitter. Yeah,
All right.
let's take the heavy hitter. Then
Sebastian Castro, you are a Chicago Bear.
go back to the tackle.
Smitty Q keeps saying this, man. I don't know what he's talking about. Kids, you probably do. He says y'all need to run a mock on the stick model. On stick to the model.
Yeah, I just ran one of those last night. It is nice.
What is it
It's
about?
really nice. It's
It's
that's the name of it. It's another simulator. It's dope. And the trades seem a little bit more realistic, and they give you like values and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, since Samuel got to go night because he got to, make the donuts in the
Oh,
morning.
it ain't happening tonight. It ain't happening tonight, dog.
No, I'm saying before the draft, we might be up, still. I don't know, but I mean, you got to go because you over there yawning and shit.
Man,
I'm right there with him, man. I got work in them. Actually, I got to see a man about a horse early tomorrow. So.
All right. Well, let's what are we at? We're at 2:33 now.
Let's try that tomorrow, man, because we're gonna have a little airspace before the draft.
Take Gerald.
All right. I think this is. Oh no, you got one more. So you got two more picks, Samuel.
Take take Gerald.
What are you thinking of here? Oh, you want offensive line,
offensive tackle. Yep.
I hear you, Smitty. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down, Smitty, and we'll get to it. Let's see what
I have it. I saved it, Smitty, so we can run it off there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to the model is what it is. Stick to the model.
Stick to the model, Sam. Yep.
Yeah, I got it. Gerard Christian Lichtinen, you are a Chicago Bear. And I probably butchered your last name.
What was the name?
Man, don't ask me to say it again now.
Look at running backs again. Let's see if anybody fell.
Christian Lichtinen. Yeah, running backs. Phil Maffa.
Oh, Phil Maffa. I cannot pass on the Phil Maffa right there, dog.
You can't, man. You really
gotta take Phil Maffa. If he falls down, you take Phil Maffa.
Who was your first? You got Ashton Jeanty, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's natural. You gotta get a bruiser, man. Somebody with some
I got no problem with this move here.
Yep.
All right.
Take Phil Maffa.
And with the Bears' final selection at 240, Phil Maffa, you are a Chicago Bear. Boom. Look upon this thing, yasso. All right. So, yeah, man. So this is what this draft looks like. The Samuel draft, pretty decent.
First of all, how many trade backs did you do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 trade backs.
I think we traded back twice though, right? To get those 5 extra picks.
Yeah.
Or did we trade back 3 times?
You traded back twice.
Maybe you traded back twice.
We traded back twice and picked up a lot of extra picks. So
I think it's solid. I think it's real good. So starting out, Ashton Jeanty, running back Boise State. At pick number 10, at pick number 39, Josh Connerly Jr., offensive tackle, Oregon. Pick number 41, Princely Nomad.
What?
Do the last name.
Princely Umami Ellen.
Yeah, what he said. At 41, Edge, Ole Miss. 98, Omar Norman-Lott, defensive tackle, Tennessee. 129, Dante Thornton, wide receiver, Tennessee. 150, Danny Stutzman, linebacker, Oklahoma. 176, Jalen Conyers, tight end, Texas Tech. 231, Sebastian Castro, safety, Iowa. Gerard Christian Lichtinen. All right, yeah, offensive
I had to
tackle.
look at him a little bit more.
Offensive tackle, Oregon State, 233. And final selection at 240, Phil Maffa, running back, Clemson. Got yourself a little thunder and a little bit of lightning. Some offensive line help in the trenches. A DT in the trenches, an edge rusher. Safety just in case there's an issue with our guy. You know what I mean? If there's a problem with the homie. Got yourself a tight end and a linebacker and a wide receiver now. And again, a little bit more depth on the offensive line. I think you basically hit everything that needs to be hit. I got no problems with this draft. This draft is a success.
I'm listening to you, Levante. I can't wait till tomorrow, man. We got a little airspace to do this model y'all talking about. I think that'd be fun, us debating about, because we've been doing a whole bunch of, okay, you take this draft, we'll give the No Maniacs this draft. It's going to force us to come to a consensus of what's the best thing to do for the Bears while we're waiting on the pick to happen. I think it's going to be fun for everybody involved because we can all make sense of what we need to do. We might not come to a consolidated agreement, but at least we can get it out there and discuss what to do, because it's a lot of things that make sense and some of the shit don't make no sense, so.
Yep. And if you do some shit that don't make sense in this draft, in that draft simulator, you can actually go back. He's like, nah, man, that shit. Yep, you can click and go back and like, all right, reverse your last pick.
What?
Yeah. Yep. That's the thing I do like about it. Like, I'm like, that's pretty cool right there.
I've been in the weeds, goddamn it. I ain't seen shit. Dog.
Yeah, I just found it last night too. I used it last night.
What we're saying is them times that I accidentally made a selection live on a show, I could have went back and corrected those things. Sorry,
Exactly.
I've been stuck in the woods and the sticks, dog. That's something we probably shout out to Smitty Q for that one, man, because he's been saying that shit for the past couple of weeks too, and we just didn't do it yet.
Well, like I said, I downloaded it and gave it a shot. I like it. It's actually very similar to this one, but it's a little bit, potentially a little bit better. I will also say that if you have the account for PFN, it's also very good. I haven't gone through it's much better. So I haven't gone through those motions yet, but do want to give a shout out to Pro Football and Sports Network for their support in all 8 billion mock drafts I've done over the course of the last 7 months. So I just want to put that out there, give these guys a little bit of love too. They deserve it.
I'll be running from the mock drafts, man. But you know what, Samuel, you want to keep this and put it out there.
Yep, let me take a picture of that one. We don't know what's going to happen.
You ain't got to do all that.
I downloaded it. I'll send it to you, bro. You can take a picture if you want, but I'll send you a copy for sure.
See how close we are to tomorrow.
Well, speaking of close to tomorrow, at some point, we're getting towards the end of things, so let's just talk about some of that. At some point, so what I did today when I had a couple of minutes free is I did my own top 2 rounds, and I selected everything for each team just to see how accurate I am versus reality when it comes down tomorrow and the day.
And your ass was in a different orbit, wasn't
he? He froze.
Yeah, he had some smart shit to say right
now.
The
following day. So I'm gonna put that. Okay, yeah. So I'll put it. You see. So I'm gonna put it out there onto the.
Fragged up for a little bit, kids.
Am I frozen still?
No, you're not no more.
All right. Okay. So we're good.
Good.
All right, we're good. So I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it out there onto the Twitter sphere for folks to take a look at, and y'all can keep it honest and see how accurate I was with respect to what these teams are going to actually do. There's no trades in my situation. I have a strange feeling there's going to be a couple of trades. And from what the scrolls are saying, it kind of, and the look on Ryan Poles' face today, I have a feeling there's already a trade baked in the building, right? So I'm gonna put that out there now. It feels a little bit like he's already got the trade lined up. I don't know about how y'all feel about that. I'm just saying the look on the man's face when they asked, oh, like how many picks are you looking at in the top 10? And he was like, whoa, there's a lot of picks.
Yeah. Poor poker face. Poor ass poker face.
He's probably the wild ass motherfucker in the room that everybody got to keep cool. Like,
right.
No.
Like, shut up, dog.
We're picking jeanty. We're picking jeanty. But I have a feeling that's really what's going to go down. And like I say, like, I don't have a problem with it, but man, like, I'm just hoping you're giving up next year's capital is really the best thing for me to say.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got to do this.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm willing to give up next year.
Or, oh, snap. Tomorrow, you can dip into the following year's capital.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So not just next year, you can dip into 2026, but it's only available tomorrow. So you can have that verbal conversation about it.
So
but tomorrow in practice, you could actually give something up from the 2026 draft, which again, what if it's a snap? What if it's the 10th pick for pick number 5, third rounder 2025 and a third rounder in 2026? I'd be fine.
How many picks do we actually have now? We're down to what, 7, 6, 7?
Yeah, 7. Yep, 7 picks.
We got 7 picks.
Yep.
And you know, I think the biggest question in the room is, are you that arrogant and bold as a what? How many games did we win? 4 or 5 games? Yep. As a 5-win team, to be willing to give up assets to move up and get a certain player. I think that's what the conversation is going to come down to. You're a pretty arrogant motherfucker. Now, I know we did good yeoman's work in free agency. I know we did. We did some really good work there. Some shit happened there that I didn't think would ever happen. Like Grady Jarrett in Chicago, right. Never would have saw it coming, ever. But you got to realize, I mean, in this period, if I'm Ryan Poles and I'm sitting back and I'm just like, how many things that we can do, how many scenarios can play out, you better ground yourself. You better ground yourself and realize that you was a goddamn 5-win team last year.
Yep.
And remember and move forward accordingly. Anything else, you can color it up any way you want to, but motherfucker, you was a 5-win team last year. Act like it.
Well, like I'm saying, if you're a 5-win team and you feel the need to press up, if you're giving assets up from the future as opposed to this draft when you really need it, I'm all right with it. If you're not giving up 39 and 41, I'm okay with this. Now, I don't want you giving up a first rounder next year or the following year, but a third rounder, maybe a second rounder. All right.
Or maybe a player is involved, man. We can't rule that out because
there's that one too.
We got some good players. We got
shit.
Swift. We got
Tariq Stevens.
Tariq. Yep. I didn't want to say it, but Tariq or Smith or Terrell Smith.
You know what, fellas? I wonder how much this draft is going to play into. There's a Poles has been here 3 years, so you got guys that are coming into contract years soon. How much is that shit going to play into what they do?
You mean like left tackle?
That guy. Yep. There's other guys too.
Safety. We got a safety that's
Jervon is coming up.
We got Jervon coming up. Yep, next year. So yeah, it's a lot to consider.
And they can replace Jervon in this draft and trade him at the same time.
I don't know that many people doing podcasts and analytics, whatever they do out here. I don't know how many people have talked about that. they're trying to look down the road. Like who do you think we would be willing to sign or re-sign or give an extension? Right now, it was obvious that they needed to give Kyler one. It was obvious that TJ Edwards needed one. But what else is the most obvious thing to do here? You know, you got a couple other guys. You know what I mean? There's other guys. And if you think, you know, whatever you think, there could be some moves forward here in the future that's according to that situation. You know?
Yep.
I don't know that people talk about that enough, but that's real.
Marlon's saying something big here is just these blue chippers that we've selected, or these second round picks we've selected, they all haven't killed it in year one. So again,
looking at you, Zach Pickens.
Oh shit!
That got everything to prove.
I'm just saying, but potential trade bait though.
Yes, potential.
I hate that kind of
Not gonna get much for him though.
I hate that. You put that much time into a guy, and all of a sudden you get a little bit better around him. And it takes these some of these guys, it takes them a minute to get used to what this is. And then you let them go, and next thing you know, this motherfucker just burgeons into this stud D tackle, just like, God damn it, why didn't we pay him? I hate that. It's just like, if you've been patient this long, be patient a little bit longer and give him a chance.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen in the draft. Maybe happen during training camp, after training camp. If he plays well, and we're gonna cut him anyway. And
wow, we're at that position for we've had this.
We
can't be at that point where we're gonna cut him,
bro. We've had this.
If we draft another one, if we draft one, that's the only reason I think we could possibly cut him. If we draft a defensive tackle,
you seen the depth chart, Samuel?
Just do the math already, though, man. He's
kept 4 last year. We kept 4.
I mean, I'm talking about now. Who's on the depth chart now? It's got to be another guy.
Grady, Billings, Javon.
Dexter.
And then Zach Pickens. Oh, sorry. We also got Chris Williams back there, too.
Chris Williams. Did we keep Ford? Did we keep that dude Ford? No.
Yeah, he's here.
Ford is still here.
Not if they draft one. Not if they draft one tomorrow.
Dude, there's if Chris Williams can beat Zach Pickens out, which he outplayed him during the season. He definitely outplayed Zach Pickens during the season. If Chris Williams can outplay Zach Pickens, then Zach Pickens deserves to be cut.
Well, he could end up on that practice squad, man.
Because even Hardy looked like he was getting more reps and attention than Pickens was.
Well, he's on the edge though, but he like his Hardy's special teams value is high too, bro.
Yeah. Right.
So like that's the other aspect as to why a guy like Hardy will likely make the 53, and you're left questioning where Zach Pickens fits into all this. So he needs to bust his ass is really the answer to it. You know what I mean? He needs to bust his ass in training camp and show these guys why he's here. But if they grab a guy tomorrow or so facts is this, you're right. If he's coming up on contracts sooner or later, if they even grab a UFDA, right? If they draft an undrafted free agent too at defensive tackle, that really puts additional pressure on Zach Pickens, man.
Yeah,
maybe that's what he needs: maximum pressure on his ass.
Well,
I mean, how would you play if you're?
I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that sentiment, man. You're right.
I know, Samuel. You a D tackle. You're a defensive guy. You defensive line guy.
Need that fire lit under you sometimes. You're right.
Bust your ass.
Some people are motivated that way when you ain't done nothing, but now they got your back against the wall. What you gonna do? Fight or flight?
Yeah.
You're gonna either play or you're gonna fold up into fetal. What you gonna do? If you made for the NFL, you're gonna fight.
Yep, that's what they want to see out of him, the fight. Man, I still feel like Flu screwed him, man, though. They moved him out of position. I think Zach should have been playing 3 tech.
God.
And we asked him to do something.
Samuel, you were still here when that conversation started.
Yeah.
Well, am I wrong or right? Did we not talk about that right away?
Yep. Yeah, he screwed him.
I did not understand the selection of the two of them at the same position at the same time. And I still have to say it's kind of still in question. Like, let's just be real about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of still in question. So here we are, X amount of years later, and we're trying to figure out why Zach Pickens was selected by the Chicago Bears at that present time. So,
because
he
had dog tape. He had some dog tape. He had some shit that showed on tape. They're just like, okay, that motherfucker can. All right. They double dipped in the area they needed help.
Well,
they let some studs go. Think about who left during that time.
Yeah, but my simple point is this. There were still multiple holes on that roster to fill.
But who left on that? If you can't stop nobody at the line of scrimmage, then what the fuck do you got in the first place? The defense don't have a chance to work. Who left, kids?
I know the only reason I'm laughing is just that, like, drafting the two of them didn't prevent, you know what I mean? It didn't create a stop. It didn't, you know what I mean? It didn't prevent the leakage at the line.
I thought they was pretty good with the addition of Andrew Billings stuffing up.
Oh, well, Billings is the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bringing Billings in helped. Like, if Billings ain't on the line,
that's the same year. That's the same year too. That's what's crazy. Like,
that's what I'm trying to say. They got Billings, they got Javon, and they got Zach. Zach's just he's been the odd man out for the past three years, and that it just continues on now. I understand the depth case scenario, but
it's about the technique he's playing, kid. It's like, are you naturally built to play a certain kind of technique? Am I naturally built to withstand play after play after play after play, double teams, and trying to fight through that and be in the run plug? Am I naturally built for that? Can I make it up, and can I come to that conclusion in my head? This is my role. I think they tried to turn him into something he's not. Honestly,
I can argue that we did the same with Javon Dexter. To be honest, like, he wasn't a natural 3 tech. I think he was better suited to play nose tackle at the point in time.
That argument can be made for sure.
But he's turned himself into a 3 tech, and he's turning himself into a 3 tech. I'll say that he's not.
Before he got hurt, he had how many? Like 4 or 5 sacks.
Yeah, he's moving a lot.
He's getting more pressure though, man. It was evident though. He was getting a lot more pressure this past season than he was before. So
you just got to be a little bit more consistent, and he got better coaching now. So let's see what. And he got a dog in the room with him now who can teach him the tricks of the trade. Like, I think that's what we were missing a lot in the trenches. We didn't have guys to help teach guys how to be better players at certain positions, and on the offensive line and the defensive line. So now we have that. We got the veteran presence. So hopefully it helps some of these young guys grow up a little bit quicker.
Shout out to Bogey. I don't know if I ever seen him in the chat, but thank you for busting up in this piece, man. See how natural and seamless the football conversations happens over here, man, because you know what? This is the big four, like Shorty said. This is the big four. This is how we roll, man. This is how we roll. Football is real over here, and I guarantee you guys this. There's going to be some the new Bears are going to come in here, and you're going to know where they came from. You're going to know who scouted them out. You're going to know who had the right conversations for you guys to research and go and find out who these players are. These people are in this building right now, in this show right now. Right now. Right now. I'm just telling you guys. One thing we do over here very well is football. Football. That's how the show got started, and that's the meat and bones and potatoes to the show. Football. That's the main thing. So I don't want to stop the conversation. If you guys got other stuff y'all want to talk about, we can continue. But I see people yawning, and
man, I can't stop yawning over here. I'm like, I gotta go.
Hey, I don't want to keep the show going, but that's how I feel with every show. I feel like this with every show. I can keep on going and going and going. But
well, you know, it's draft weekend coming up, so we might want to call it now and prepare for, Thursday night
marathon.
Thursday
all
night's
day
tomorrow
Friday,
night. So this is what I'm saying. We don't have to keep
and
this
all day
going.
Saturday.
We don't have to keep this going. We're
It's
just
about to
gonna
be-
do it one more again tomorrow. A little bit earlier in the night because the draft starts at, I believe,
7
Central,
Yeah.
8 Eastern. So we will be a half hour before that at 6:30, doing the darn thing. Give a little bit of pre-draft jitters, get that out of the way, and we'll have a good conversation as she rolls on. But that being said, I'll just we'll start to sign this thing off and give a little bit of love to my guy Samuel for coming out. Thank you, sir. We appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
man. Good to have you back.
Appreciate you.
For sure.
Don't stop thanking him, man. This is his home too.
Well, I didn't thank him before, so I'm just me thanking him now. Big shout outs to my guy Triple R underneath me there. Shout out to Sports Chicago Style. Give him a like, share, and subscribe. Please reach out to him. Give him a little bit of love on all your socials. Where you at there, Trips?
Sports Chicago Style. They're on the Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, Twitter, and the YouTube page, as well as the .com, Ko-fi, and Patreon.
All of them places. Go see my guy. Give him a little bit of love, and see this guy here, that handsome gentleman. Give this guy a little bit of love. At Kedza Canuck, we are multi-streaming. Say what?
Is that almond? That's almond.
Oh, damn.
Almondies or almondies.
Oh my God! Look what you did now.
Hey,
Anyhow, give this gentleman a little bit of love over at my channel. We are multi-streaming live right now. A little bit of promotion for tomorrow night's show. You'll catch it in the shorts. Again, give that a like, share, subscribe. Feel free to comment as well. I will throw the link in the chat before we sign off. But just to end things out, I'll give you guys a little bit of love for giving us some love. We'll start today's ending off with Howie R. Bears. Thanks for coming through, my dude. Howie says he just got here. Y'all talking James Pierce or Walter Nolan? Learning how Grady Jarrett runs the locker room? Yeah, man, you're running late. How we are? We're signing off.
Gotta go back and rewatch.
Right, on demand.
How we just busted up in this piece?
Yeah, it looks like he's just jumping in now, but it's all good, man. In the Grass was out there. Bogey came through, gave us a little bit of love. Smitty Q's out there. The Scrolls always keeping it hilarious in the chat. Our Super No Maniac Marlon Johnson was with us today. You should also be a Super No Maniac too. Shout out to the good minister Charles Johnson, who I didn't see today, but I'm sure that was there must have been an emergency. Your shit was going down.
Hold on. How we are talking about RAS scores?
Yeah,
and do it, man. RAS scores. Give me that on paper. Just shoot it to me. I'll give you my email and I'll show you what I do with it in private. Wipe it my just telling you, Howie, I love you, but that's what I do with paper.
Who's he comparing RAS scores to? What's he talking about?
He's talking about.
Do we know what RAS scores are? Did we compare?
I have no use for them. I have no use for me personally. I have no use for it.
Yeah, it doesn't really help me. It'll help a guy like Ryan Poles because he holds that specific analytics in high regard. I'm either looking at tape or things along that nature to make my determination. So I'm sure Ryan Poles is definitely doing the same. Plus the additional analytics.
You know what, man? Before you finish this shout out, I think that's what's got a lot of Bears fans and people in general that don't really, that people ain't really football affiliated, like watch tape and know how to break it down. They lean towards the people, and those people know that people are out there that lean towards somebody that gives them some kind of compilation of give them something that they can visualize and say, okay, this is how good a player is. This is how good this player is. This is how not good this player is. And those RAS scores, it's probably, I don't know if I think that might be one of the worst things that ever happened to football, man. Straight up, man. Because I look at a RAS score and I look at something on tape and it don't add up most of the time. And so I'm just like, I have no space in my DNA for that shit. Really, I don't. I don't.
Shamar
Yeah.
Stewart.
I
Oh,
will
so
not.
you saying that's why Shamar Stewart's gonna be a bust?
All right.
No, he's gonna be a bust because what I think I see on I think he's a D tackle.
I think he's more of D tackle as well. Was that him on here when somebody said that? Yeah. I think he can play 3 tech. I think he can play 3 tech.
Huh. Interesting.
I know that guy's film tells more about his get off and his ability to not be able to round the corner, and that always translates to kick him inside.
He's a straight line dude. He's a straight line dude, man.
If he's an athletic freak, maybe he can just move people out of position. You know what I mean? As opposed to really getting around them. Just move them. So maybe DT is.
Look at him, man. Does that look like an edge rusher to you?
Like, kinda.
I know.
It's just the size and it's just the measurables. You know what I mean? Like,
people compare him to the cat in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's got those kind of.
Do you see it at all?
What? Similar to the cat in Cleveland?
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, you mean like the size and the build and
the
length, yeah.
You see,
I can compare him to Jadeveon Clowney, like but he don't play like neither one of those dudes. That's the thing.
Talking about Myles Garrett, like that's how people are going that far.
Yeah, people try to call him Myles Garrett, and I don't see it, man.
I mean, either. I
just don't see it.
Doesn't have
you cannot not finish plays, and people try to call him. What's the guy just left Minnesota?
Oh, you talking about 99?
Yeah,
Hunter Houston.
Yeah,
Hunter. Yeah, Danielle Hunter. They try to say, well, Danielle Hunter didn't have any sacks in college. That's what people are trying to say now as well. But I'm like,
it's not. I don't even look at it that way. I just watch him finish a pass rush, and that guy can't
not finish a pass.
He can't bend around the corner. You remember how much Chris used to be talking about ankles and shit like that?
Yeah,
like deflection in your ankles and all that kind of stuff. I'd be like, Chris, you crazy. No, I think that little part of his game and not having a flexion in his ankle to be able to bend corners. I think that shows up on film. So, I mean, but go ahead, kids. I interrupted you, bro.
Yes, you did. Levante Rogers. Big shout out to you, my brother. And the grass was out there with us. Paul Rodriguez is holding it down. AC Adam is out there. Mr. Shorty was with us at some point tonight. Big shout outs to you. Thanks for supporting the channel, and shout outs to all the homies at BCP. The Immortal Nodge was with us tonight. He holds down the ranch. So was King Booker World, man. Shout out to King Booker. Mad respect to the White Ghost, man. White Ghost was all over the chat tonight, man. Mad respect to you for keeping it live in the conversation piece. Who else was out there with us tonight? Willie Neal was with us tonight. That was a little bit different. Big personal shout out to Eugene Tangway. Rest in peace, man. Shout out to you, my brother. You were a crazy cat. Who else we got out there? The hairiest bear Gooch. What up? Crooked Commish came through, dropped us a little bit of love. Damn it, Crooked. Yo, I wonder what. I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow, man. Let's see if you're free. Maybe you might want to jump on and spend a little bit of time with us during this draft fiasco. Dante Purify, what's going on? A little bit of love to you, man. Thanks for coming through. Derek Guy, he is also a super no maniac. You should be too. Walter Williams, big shout outs, brother. Go Blue, what it do? For those of you who are new in the building, please like, share, subscribe, and become a super no maniac.
Real quick, can I tell Honey R Bears try that Crown Apple? That's not bad.
You sipping on the honey whiskey? That's something a little bit different, man. I got that Moscow Mule going, bro. I got some Nemiroff vodka and a little bit of lime. Two parts lime juice, 1 part vodka, 1 part Canada Dry ginger beer. It's like that. It's like a Ryan Ginger that kind of a little bit of kick.
Oh, your
Good
ass
stuff.
wrong, ain't
Good stuff. Hey man, I'm trying to do it the right way. Shout out to MC Fact or Mick Fact, depending on what you want to do. Joseph Archer is also a Super No Maniac. Shout out to you, sir. It's Crimson, you dig, holding it down with the wrench. FFG, I miss you, FFG, man. What's popping, my bro? Good to have you. Ron C in the place to be. I think I said go blue, and if I didn't, I'm gonna say it one more time. Nick Rembert was with us tonight too. Ron Winarski, shout out to Big Ron. Ken Johnson was holding it down with us as well. Florida Bears fan, what's popping, Florida Bears fan? Hopefully everything is good. Relentless Mikey was out there doing the darn thing with us. Smitty Q. Anybody else? I'm running out of human beings here, man. Oh, Dobbsy 34 was with us. Big Frank Q. And yeah, that about rounds it out, man. One more time, thanks for hanging out with us for some extra sauce. We really did it big tonight. Again, the band was back together. We really got deep into the sauce for real, with sweet chili sauce, sweet and sour sauce, all kinds of sauce,
Duck
man.
sauce, dragon
Duck
sauce,
sauce, dragon sauce. I don't know how much more sauce.
your
you can
ass
put.
beat
sweet sauce
sauce.
with pineapple tidbits.
Get
See?
your ass kicked sauce if you put it on Berlin again.
Man, rest in
Booty
peace,
sauce.
Mongo McMichael, man. Rest in
Fish
peace
sauce.
to 76. Yo, fish sauce is the bomb. If you can figure out how to make that, I need to know. Sorry, that's a little message to Chef Trip. Fish sauce, bro. If you can figure that one out, I need to know. The fish sauce is on another level. Just
All you need is some dead fish and some water and oil.
that's it.
That's it.
Damn.
Good to go.
I'm gonna go fishing.
Get you some minnows or something.
I ain't fishing in the creek. Anyways, man. Samo, last words for the night.
Man, shout out to everybody in the chat who showed love. Appreciate you guys, man. It was good and fun. Looking forward to the draft, man. We 10 minutes away from draft day. Man, make sure everybody comes back tomorrow and the next day, then the next day. Hopefully we celebrating and we not cursing Brian Poles and the Chicago Bears for the moves that they make.
Right. And speaking of, as Ked's already led up to the all of the places to follow and support Sports Chicago style, I'll close by saying I've been playing with Stick to the Model for the last few minutes, and they get nice with it. Draft analysis, trend analysis, advanced insights, and the trades, and it's pretty sweet simulator.
Right.
Hey, I know one thing. Berlin pissed off about this picture. I'm gonna have to make another one to get her on here. She's like, she don't like you and them old hoes on here.
Like, hurry up.
Every time you see it, I just want to go smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no!
Hey,
Now I know what Chef Trip learned how to make all them sauces now.
man, dog, you dealing with people that big, dog. You need to be able to cook. Number one. Number two, you need to do some extra shit too, man. And so, hey, that's why this is called some extra sauce, because we got people like Triple R from Sports Chicago style, man. And this is just so much fun to me. And I'm not gonna keep y'all long. These guys need to get out of here and go. We got a long marathon to do, dude. We got a whole 3 days worth of podcasts to do. And I know for a fact, this is how I feel about this whole situation, guys. Kid says you can't screw this up. I don't know which one of you guys said that. You can screw this. Was it Ethereal? I don't know who it was.
Kids.
I said it, but like I'm being a little bit tongue in cheek.
Wishful thinking.
It can be like he can screw this up, but he really shouldn't screw this up. All the ducks are in a row, man.
Kids,
You know what I mean?
kids, knock on would you please knock on wood, please.
Man, sit your ass down.
God,
A whole bunch of knocking, man. A whole bunch of knocking. Extra.
Power of polls compels you.
See?
because there is ways to screw this up. There is ways to screw this up.
I think we're all right.
And I think it's going to be really hard to do that. It's too many people that know what they're doing in here. It's already this whole
the scrolls though.
This cadre of people out here that I don't like. And Emery Hunt that came on the show a couple of weeks ago, he pointed it out to me, and he said, and I don't want to paraphrase him. I don't even want to quote him, but he was just like, all of a sudden, everybody just knows that Ryan Poles doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? That whole thing is just like, what's that all about? Okay, as a GM, you select a coach, or did you select that coach, right? What happened there?
Where? Are we talking Flus?
Yeah, that whole thing.
Oh,
got a story behind it that we will never know the goddamn.
We need to end this show, bro, because we'll be we'll get so deep into this particular.
I know we'll have a chance to talk about it tomorrow because everybody's just waiting and just teeing up to take off on Poles if he doesn't do what they want him to do. And that's no way to be. As a fan, it's not a healthy relationship with your team. Now you done took it and got it personal. You know what I'm saying? It's
so why you got to be calling out people that's like, if Jeanty is on the board at 10 and Poles like trades back or picks somebody else and not Jeanty, oh Lord, he's gonna catch it. Twitter's gonna have a meltdown. It's gonna be epic.
I got a feeling, Trips, that man is afraid of that.
I don't know if that's a big, man, I don't even me.
I mean, Samo, don't let them take over. I got a feeling that man's scared of that.
Even me, if that's what he wants to do, like it took me a while to get off the ledge and be like, oh,
he froze.
That's not a good way to freeze. That's not a good look right there.
That's what his ass get. He's about to try to
get the right. Clearly trying to make a fool out of me today. I'm just saying, if that's the situation and he decides to trade back and leave Ashton Jeanty there waiting, I have no problems with that either, man. Do what you're trying to do. Get your additional capital. This is a deep running back market. It is.
Week 7, I'm gonna hold your ass accountable.
Like I'm saying, this time around, I'm much less likely to be upset with the selections because he's covered his bases. Last year, there was no way to cover the bases, and then he made a luxury pick out of nowhere. And that luxury pick, in my opinion, threw the entire draft sideways. They threw it completely out of whack. Right? You could have got a Bucky Irving, and you wouldn't have had these issues running the rock right there where you got the kicker. You could have got an edge rusher right there where you got the kicker. Like, there's things you could have done right at that edge rusher being Austin Booker.
Yep.
Opposed to trading back in and losing capital to do it. These are things you could have done and waited. And what's really funny is the 49ers got an undrafted free agent kicker, and he's performing almost identically to Tory Taylor. Not really trying to knock Tory Taylor. I'm trying to knock the selection of Tory Taylor at that time.
You know what, kids? You were right. That was a terrible close on my part. I done opened up a sieve.
Opened up.
I'm trying to get a
Band-Aid off and open the wound right back up again. Now we all talking about it. We gotta get out of here, dog. It's about to be
wow.
Draft day in 2 minutes. 2 minutes is draft day.
We got too used to all these long ass podcasts, man. We got to cut all that shit out, man. We get it. Hey, Samo, you know I love it. You know we love it.
Yes,
this is a brotherhood over here, man. And I don't say that, and it's not empty words. And I know I say that for everybody here. We want you here, man. We missed you. We love you, man. Just do the shit with us, man, and we gonna grow. Trust me when I tell you that. And moving forward, man, thank you guys for being here. We got a whole bunch of draft coverage to do. And give me a second. I think I have it set up, and I don't have shit set up. Here's a promo. Yes, indeed. We're gonna cover the draft, the entirety of the whatever we do, and whatever it's worth, I am prepared for the first time as being a podcaster, not being overwhelmingly opinionated about what I think the Bears should do. And I hope everybody comes to this point, but I know everybody ain't me. I don't expect everybody to be me. I've invested my time in my life, and so is Samuel. I just listen to Samuel talk, and I know how much investment he put into this draft class. And I don't know that everybody appreciates that. Like, look, it takes hours of your life that you give to this. You have to love this game. You have to literally love this game. Football better be in your goddamn DNA to go spend the kind of man hours that it takes to give you guys the kind of coverage that you guys got this offseason and getting you prepared for this draft. All these players, whatever conference, they're everywhere. And there's people that are willing to give the time and the effort to that cause. And I'm asking you guys to show some respect. Show some respect. I'm not asking you for gratitude. Just give a little tip of the hat. Say, hey, man, thank you for what you did. Because that is like, there is hours of my life and Samuel's life and everybody here that you ain't getting back. We dedicated that to you guys. We gave it to you guys. And so, I'm not telling you guys to give us some kind of physical thank you. In your heart, just appreciate the work that has to get put in for you guys to get the kind of draft coverage you got. And hopefully, when this is all said and done, you guys will get the results that you're looking for. I do got a strong indicator, and it ain't got nothing to do with, the coach. It ain't got nothing to do with the quarterback. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else other than, I think, the timing. I think shit's aligned right now. And it just feels like shit's going to happen. You can't, like we've done bad all by ourselves. Now it's time for some good luck that start happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's just our time, I think. And, RIP to Mongo and I hope that in his passing that we can take some kind of seed from the kind of personality that he brought to Chicago. And we find some kind of way to bring that attitude. Find some dudes in this draft that bring that kind of attitude to this team. It's hard to find guys like him. They ain't growing on trees. They ain't getting sold at Walmart. None whatsoever. You got to identify that person and put him in your locker room. Period. And so I just want to say thank you guys for being here. This is a fun show. We're about to have a hell of a time doing this draft coverage. There's going to be a bunch of people coming and going and in the show and out of the show. There's we didn't do a whole lot. I didn't spend a whole lot of time setting up a whole bunch of big interviews and all that kind of stuff. That's not necessary. We hold it down over here when it comes to football. We don't need no whole bunch of people, but there will be people coming in here and there and bringing something to this coverage, man. It's going to be a great time to be a Bears fan on this network and on this channel. And I hope you guys have a good time with it. But we got to get up out of here, man, because people got to go to bed. We've been on here 4 hours pretty much. And so I want to say thank you one more time. I want to leave you with these old famous words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.